What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do this.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
But see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, I mean, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, the men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband and stuff like that.
Yo, what it is, what it do. Another day, another blessing, y'all. Speak on that podcast, 2K25. About to do what it do. I'm going to start out with those trending topics. And then we're going to get into the topic of the night, which is a question that I want to know, because I'm not out there in the dating world anymore. So I need to know what y'all going through out there for real, because I'm tired of hearing the stories, because they just sound too unrealistic to me. So what we're going to do first, I want to do a moment of silence for Ronnie. Not a moment of silence. I want to pause and pay, give tribute, respect to Ronnie Coleman, hometown native, Mr. Olympia. Shake back, my boy. You got this. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a shout out to him. He just had a procedure done, I think yesterday, earlier this week, and I'm praying for a speedy recovery. So shout out to him, big ups, hometown native, Louisiana. All righty. Okay, so we got that, and let's see what else we going. Trending topics. Okay. All right, y'all. I got one that I'm gonna wait on. So let's see. Trending topics. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get the Drake thing out the way. Let's see, do I have the Drake clips? Let's see. Okay. Trending topics. Okay, this is what's going on with Drake. Y'all know he's getting ready to drop a new album. Go ahead and get Diddy out the way. His sentencing is coming, October 6th or something like that? October 3rd, October 6th. We already knew they weren't going to let him out. It wouldn't have been wise for him to get out. So they did right by keeping him in there. So that way he can get more time served. So if he do get out. And when I say free Diddy, I was doing my posts and thoughts on Diddy. It wasn't that I agree with anything that he's done. It's just the fact that I was glad that they were trying to throw RICOs on him and different stuff like that, things that he didn't do to try to frame him up, like they did the Bill Cosby's, like they did the R. Kelly's and all that. Not saying, but the RICO thing, like they tried to do Young Thug. Get them for what they're guilty of. Don't just come up with something, throw on them, and then a whole lot of people say me too, and then another black man in jail. That's the problem I have with that. Okay, so by no means do I condone what he did, but yeah, I don't condone nothing he did. The parties, I just feel like he was a freak, and they just wanted to add more to it for whatever big he had going on, and he beat the charge, the bigger ones anyway. But that was my thoughts on that. Okay, now everybody talking about the new Drake song all over, it's trending over social media. Since the beef between him and Kendrick, he lost the battle, and he allegedly lost the battle, and Kendrick got the hit out of it. Okay, good deal. Now they like, can Drake come back? Okay, so he sued, so he can't talk tough guy because he's suing Kendrick over a song. It's deeper than that. So this is what the real lawsuit is about. And then I'm gonna talk about the new song. I'm gonna bring the panel on, and we're gonna do our topic. But peep this.
Drake is in the biggest label war of his career right now. Here's everything you need to know. So back in 2022, he signed a $400 million deal with Universal Music Group. And in just 1 year, he made all that money back, putting all the leverage on Drake's side. But he ran into a problem. Fast forward to 2025, and the rumor is Sony came through with a $500 million offer. And that rumor might actually hold weight, because Drake said this.
Major distribution the labels call me. Bad Bunny numbers, it's a robbery. 500 million just for Aubrey.
Right after that, things started to get shady. Around that same time, UMG helped push Kendrick's diss track, and Drake says they knew exactly what they were doing. They boosted fake streams, even removed the copyright so the song would go viral. Why? Because supposedly the label was trying to devalue his brand before contract talks. See, labels use this gangster tactic all the time when artists are about to leave, and Drake is calling it out. He's suing UMG, not Kendrick, for defamation and brand damage. And if everything he's saying turns out to be true, this is way bigger than just rap beef.
And I've been preaching that all along with the little Drake thing and the lawsuit. I keep telling people it's deeper than that battle. He lost to Pusha T allegedly, and did nothing come of it. But being called a certified pedophile, and then having the label remove the copyright so this song can go viral quicker. And when they remove the copyright, that means when you play it, you don't get that copyright infringement. Like, that's why whenever you guys are in the background playing music, you say, I do not own the rights to this music, because if you don't, your live streams get cut off, the song get muted. So they removed the copyright so the song can be streamed by all the streamers that was out there. YouTube, Instagram, all the bloggers were able to play Not Like Us in its entirety, talk about it without any copyright. So if that's what they did, they were wrong. Now he's getting ready to come up with an album. Okay, he already dropped the Party Next Door R&B joint. It was okay. You have to be a Party Next Door singing Drake fan to enjoy the album, but it's doing pretty good. It's still on the charts. Someone to Love Me or something is one of the main tracks that everybody's talking about on there. Okay. Then, you know, Drake's Nokia was on there. So, but he has a new album, and this is some of the reactions right quick. About to come out. He's about to release Iceman.
When I was looking at y'all and cooking with y'all and giving out verses and bookings to y'all, making sure wise with Hitman, what did I miss? When you was all in my crib, looking who's word for word at all of the shows, you always felt like this, man, what did I miss?
And he dropped that song over the weekend and over 2 million views and all that. So he's doing his thing. You know, we rocked with Kendrick all of 2024. Now it's summer 2025. Let's just see if everything shifts. I'm looking for it to be a big year for Glorilla, Big X the Plug, and Drake. The Clips, they dropped, but they're too far out of the new generation till they're not going to get the buzz that they would have gotten if they would have stayed consistent. That break kind of knocked them off, just like the break with Lil Wayne kind of knocked him off. Had they still just dropped something, if it wasn't but 2 songs a year up until an album, they still would have been relevant. But right now, the Clips isn't relevant. So, okay, now going to the topic, and I'm gonna say this, and then this fits right into the topic. All righty, your girl Cardi B is back trending with her breakup. So her and Stephon Diggs officially are not together anymore, allegedly. Neither one of them has come forth to confirm, but she did delete everything about him off of her Instagram. And he was known to say she had a stench, which is not the first time that was said, because Blueface said that also when he did the song Tatiana or whatever with her, and he was like, her twerk win had a scent to it. So I don't know. And everybody's saying she's toxic. So Offset may not be crazy for getting out of that relationship. We don't know. But from the looks of it, with her and Taye Diggs, 3-week, a month relationship, and now it's supposedly over, you kind of got to look at a common denominator right there. So I don't know. We don't know. But that's what's trending right now. And speaking of trending, that's what's going to lead us to our topic. That's going to lead us. We're going to use her to get to our topic today. So let's see. Boom. Why are more men saying it's hard to find a woman that's wife material? Why is that? Is that true, or is that just a myth? Are the guys afraid to step up and say something to the ladies now? Why is this such a trending topic? Women saying they can't find real men, men saying they can't find women that are wife material. So that's what we will be, the panel and I will be attacking today as I bring them on. So let's see here. And the panel, what's happening with you guys?
What's going on this evening? How's everybody doing?
Yeah, long time no see. We got George back in the building. I see AJ in the building. I see the Kirk alert in the building.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, what's been happening? AJ done woke up. George just came from a hibernation.
Yeah.
And we got the Kirk alert back with us. What's been up, man?
Tired, boy. I've been traveling all day.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of low.
Been working on some things. Been kind of dealing with some health stuff, but I'm on the mend. So, but it's been real productive while I've been gone. But it feels good to be back this evening.
Good deal. Good deal. You still here? That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
That's what matters. All righty. Okay, AJ.
What's up with
Why is it so hard for men to find wife material?
I think because it ain't much wife or husband material out there.
Oh.
People don't date with that type
I knew you was gonna throw that husband in there. We talking about the wives. I knew you had to throw the husbands in there. How did I know you was gonna throw the husbands in there?
Because you got to be fair with it.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Right.
You know.
Okay. Well, this and it's true to a certain extent, but I think a lot of it is too. Is that just what I know is that men are kind of thinking about themselves a little bit more and their ambitions and what they want, so they're gonna be a lot more selective now in terms of picking a bride, especially those men that have been through long-term relationships, bad breakups, and divorces. They'll be a lot. They're gonna see a lot of more red flags. They'll be looking for more, but it's gonna take them a little bit longer to get to that point where they like, oh, she a wife, because she has to imbue those qualities, and oftentimes she doesn't. These women nowadays, a lot of them don't.
I mean, what's the main thing that makes it where you feel like they don't?
Me personally,
it's hard to find and they don't.
Me personally, I up until January, I was dating for about the past 2 years previous to that. And one thing that I found a lot of women that had good qualities for a wife, that were dutiful, that were, all that kind of stuff. But me personally, I felt like they can't help me build nothing. It's hard to find a woman that you really feel like gonna help you build something. That's my personal thing. That's why I'm real, like, it's real hard to find a quality that you really find important in a woman, in these women these days.
Yeah. Now, when you said that at the very, very beginning, when we started doing the podcast, I didn't know how to take when you say that. I was like, and I think Austin and I kind of was like, you tripping, you bitter, you know what I'm saying? We were like, why is he saying that? He looking for this and that. But a year later, I see where you're coming from with it, because it's deeper than the qualities that our fathers, grandfathers, and all them looked at, because it's a totally different world now. So when you say, what can she do to help me mentally, or excel to the next level, what can she bring to make me a better person or push me towards where I'm trying to be in life. Now I get it.
But she has
But
to
with
be able to
you,
do it. She has to be able to do it in a way that's right for each man. You know, she has to be able to do it in a way that's
right.
supportive. She has to be able to do it in a certain way. And it's hard to find a woman that's got that tactile skill because so many women lack that decorum and class these days. That's hard to find. And it's frustrating. And that's why a lot of men like, why I'm gonna do man, especially like me, I've been divorced. I was married 16 years. It's like, why am I gonna rush into a marriage unless that woman not has to check every box, but can at least provide me peace and that deeper thing that I'm looking for. That's hard to find. That's why you
I
got a
think a
lot of
lot
men
of people
saying
don't know how to communicate.
they
People don't
don't.
know how to express their emotions. People don't know
Right.
how to argue a good argument, without
Right.
hitting below the belt, without taking something I gave you or told you in confidence and using it, or I confided in you and you use it against me.
Mhm.
You have how to fight fair.
Right.
We can agree to disagree. We ain't got to, people don't know how to, what is it called? Self-regulation, emotional
Right.
regulation.
Right. Right. They don't.
And that's a skill
But
that's
it would.
taught.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's just that
And a lot of
I
breakdown is that communication thing.
yeah, exactly. And if you can't communicate, you can't have a marriage. If you can't have a marriage, if you're not thinking marriage minded, you're not really looking for a wife.
And you can't control your emotions and your hormones and your this and
Right.
that. Come on now.
Now you can deaden them to the point where they can't affect you. You can definitely do that because I've done it.
You can have self-control though, and feel you. Everybody feels themselves rising up in anger
Right.
or
Right.
frustration. You can't tell me that you don't.
Right.
Everybody
But see,
feels that.
and in terms of picking a wife, you want a woman that can quell that in you as a man, and that's hard to find.
Right.
And not many women know
Okay.
how to do that.
And I get that. I get that because you know what? That's a selfless act.
Mm-hmm.
That's a selfless act, and people nowadays are selfish.
We in a
They're not
selfish world.
selfless.
We're in
Yeah,
a selfish world. You
to
know what
put
I'm saying?
somebody else's
I say that
needs
all the
above
time.
your own.
Yeah. But you got to ask yourself too, like I did the cigar talk at this lounge a couple weeks ago, was really, really good. We're looking to do more. And one of the main points as the host that I brought up was that we talked about manhood. I said every man's idea of manhood is subjective, just like every man's idea of what a good wife is going to be individual to that man too. So,
Yeah, I
you
saw
got to
you
play
put
that
that in
into
there
it.
to each individual man when you were voicing that opinion. So
Right, right.
yeah, like I said, it makes more sense a little bit now, but when you looking, I was looking at it from a perspective of not needing a woman for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you gotta look at
I'm
why
good
that is though. But
by
you gotta,
myself. I
yeah,
cook, I clean, I got my money, I drive my own, I have my own house. So for what?
right.
And then I was just
What's
gonna have
yeah,
them for sexual pleasure. That was all. So I wasn't looking for no woman to per se help me build or help make me a better person. I was like, that
like,
just I
yeah,
didn't think on those lines.
yeah.
We have Austin on the panel. What's happening, Austin?
Hey, Austin, how you doing?
What's going on with it?
Not much. I think most. I dare to say this. I think most men on some level yearn for a wife, yearn for that companionship. It's just nowadays. It's just we got to put more thought into it because many of us have been in bad relationships. It's not that men are afraid of commitment or relationships. We're afraid of the breakup or the repercussions of all the drama that comes with it and comes after it.
So you
So
saying the
have you
modern
think? Do
day
you think?
woman don't yearn for that same connection?
Yeah, but we kind of talking about the men though. We talking about why men not doing that.
Do
And
you
I'm just
think
speaking as a
social
man.
media running
Again, we
running
have
the men off?
Social media.
we also have to look at the maturity level of the men again, and if
True.
if they're truly ready for a relationship or truly ready for a marriage, and normally that's not until late in life, where you truly are ready to commit to someone into a marriage for full time. So
I mean, maturity level, yes, that. But a lot of men just saying for what? What for? You know?
Yeah, that's
I
true. I mean,
mean,
for what? For what? Especially if you got kids and you decide you don't want to deal with that. Why even fool with it? Why fool with taking on somebody else's bills and responsibilities and burdens if you don't have to? Especially in terms of matrimony, where you get legally totally entangled in that person. Why put yourself through that and you can live your own life in your own place and do your own thing? Why? What's the benefit to men? It's really not one.
I think one of the things is men are now more aware of how they're going to be portrayed in relationships.
Right.
So they're not so easy to get into one with the understanding that there's a possibility they're going to come out on the short end. Secondly, people are not transparent enough in the beginning of the relationship to really express themselves as to what they're looking for and what they will do. People are more willing to want to feel like they're right as opposed to being. It's like people who argue just to be right. They're not concerned about what's really right. They want to feel right. So people don't tell the truth just for the sake, just so that they ain't wrong. And so when you have situations where people are so argumentative, they can't come to the element of truth, and they take the position of, well, I ain't gonna talk about it, or or if it's not my way, we ain't having it.
Right.
So relationships, it has to be a balance, but
there you go.
To be first. If you ain't got, I got to be able to come to my partner and discuss anything. And if I can't do that down the line, it's going to affect you. So a lot of people get into relationships for a lot of the wrong reasons, and then when they find out they're not getting what they think they want, then they all of a sudden they out of it. The person ain't this or the person ain't that. Well, I asked all the right questions in the beginning. I got the answers that were truthful. So it gave me an option to be able to choose and say, okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with those short. She's already told me she ain't this. But very few people tell the truth in the very beginning. So you got this idea that a person is one way, and then you start noticing all these other things. Like, man, I'm not signing up for that. I'm not finna deal with that.
How long did you date before you popped the question?
Huh?
How long did you date before you popped the question?
Well, I before I just choose. See, we haven't married yet. However,
I'm talking about your previous marriage.
First time it was probably 6 months. Second time it was probably 2 years.
Okay, so the 6-month one, you got in that one. Did you think, like majority of us, that we can fix that person, we can help that person, we see where their shortcomings are or what trauma or drama they went through growing up, and we can help this person? Is that what you thought you could do in that first one?
Exactly. It's exactly what you thought.
That's right. Yeah.
Infatuated, she got the look, she got this and that. Yeah, that ain't no problem. Love can fix that. I'm smart enough to fix that. You know what I'm saying? And what you find out is way deeper than that.
Right. Or sometimes you don't even think it's gonna happen. Sometimes you can get delusional to the point where you don't even your mind can't fathom a breakup or things not going well, especially on their first marriage. Because you typically on their first marriage, you got to look at why you marrying that person in the first place. I know in my case, we dated for about 1.5 years before I popped the question, but I at 22, 23, I was getting married for a different reason than what I would now too.
At 20, what do it? Why would a 21, 22, or 23-year-old man look like? Well, what would he want in a marriage?
They don't know what
I wanted family. I wanted a sense of
early.
family, and it on paper it looked good, at the stage of life I was, and to me, I had just bought a home, my first home. I was just like, yeah, this seems like the right time because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. But see, now at 47, it's like, no, now I got to do things different.
But you to learn so much more about yourself, though, Joe.
That's right. That's right. Because I had to learn how to be open to learn about myself.
What you wanted back then ain't even what you want now.
No, it's not. It's not. You know, and it's the thing about marriages. You know, you get married at 20, 25 and be in love and be forever, but you're not going to be the same person at 30, 31, 32. So you have to be ready to be prepared for that. Because that's what really ends a marriage. People change.
Very few people make it through that and grow together.
Right. Yeah, it's easy to change, but it's hard to grow.
You have to have that element of honesty, and then you got to be aware and conscious enough to be honest when you're going through it. I'm telling you, you'll see people, they faking it, thinking somehow, because when you hear the complaints, when you hear them complaining, they start chattering to you about this and about that. And you listen, he think he finna change this. No, you're not. You can hope and hope and hope all you want to. If that person don't see what it is that you talking about, if they can't see that on their own, it's just gonna be something you're gonna either eat it or you ain't gonna deal with it all together.
So the main thing now, I guess, walking into relationships is don't walk into them thinking you're finna change somebody. If it's a deal breaker when you meet, it's a deal breaker. It's nothing you can do to. You don't bank on changing that. If you get with them, you pretty much as is.
I'll give you a prime example. My brother in Atlanta, you know, he got everything. He's in a situation now where he sort of like you. He got everything he wants. He got cars. He got his own crib. He know how to cook. He know how to pay on his own bills. He know how to manage his life, right? His kids are grown, right? So he's very selective because he got everything he wants from a standpoint of material and
financial, right?
All the skills that he need, and there's money together, right? So he went on a date recently, and so he's aware of himself in such a way that he's able to. He didn't care about, like this chick. She set up. She got her own beauty salon, right? He's got a friend of his that owned a liquor store when they used to be alcoholics, and the dude done got himself cleaned up, like my brother got himself cleaned up, and dude done came up and bought a liquor store and doing really well, and they just good friends now, right? So he'll go by his liquor store and just hang out sometime, sit behind the counter and watch people come through, right? So he see this little honey coming out the door next door. She got her own beauty salon, right? So they got to talking and clicking and whatever, you know, and she told him about herself, and so they went out on a date, right? Said, well, let me introduce you to my world. Her car was in the shop. So he said, well, I'll pick you up. You know, we can come to my house. We could do the Netflix thing, da-da-da-da-da. On the way there, it's almost 100 degrees in Atlanta. So she started complaining about how cold it was in his truck. All right, so he turned the air down. So she got to his house. Now, I know for a fact he keep his house anywhere from 69 to 72 in the summer, right? And sometimes lower 65. Dude, she wouldn't go in the house. She sat on the patio. She said, it's too cold in here for me. Well, he realized from that date, he just would not be able to accommodate her at his house. He sleep with his shit on 67, bro. And for her to be in the house, that means he would have to change the temperature and try to live basically uncomfortable because she ain't finna be in there with him in that frigid, even with blankets. He sat outside the whole date, bro, like on his patio. She's like, shit, I can't stay here. Even if he had turned it up to a reasonable, the point blank he realized it just wasn't gonna work. Just from the standpoint of what he's not willing to give up his comfort just to appease her. And it may be something trivial to some people, But when you've been by yourself for so long and you adopt certain standards, a certain way of living, it's going to be hard to change that because you want to have a mate. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but at least he's honest enough to see that this ain't going to work for him, just based on something that simple. But who's going to be honest that honest? They're like, oh, yeah, I could deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So I told him, you know, because he just went through a relationship not long ago, and he saw she was just a gold digger. You know, she just wanted that money, and he wouldn't have it. He gave her keys back. He's like, you keep these keys. I'm not paying your bills and my bills too. Like to win somewhere. So that was just a situation. Are we still on? Hello?
I still hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So that was just,
fire one up.
you know, honesty with self. You know, he's gonna be able to deal with, you know, sleeping in a hot house. Some people can't. I don't need to do real cold. You know. So
it's too hot for the air to be off, though, sis. You better get that anemia in check.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. So you just throw away a relationship instead of he can't buy some sweatsuits. Give her a quilt.
Buy her that little onesie thing that she can put on.
Yeah.
Dude, I guess what I'm saying is at least he's honest enough to realize that's going to be something he's not going to. And it could have been other things on the date.
And that's a no compromise for him.
Right.
It could have been other things on the date that he saw red signs.
Also,
you know?
right.
So, but that was one of the main things, though.
Well, Kirk, you said you asked all the right questions. What are those right questions can a man ask so that he can know he vetting and getting a good one?
Absolutely. You know, you just got to be honest with yourself. Quit playing. A lot of people, they go into it knowing there's some shit they don't like. You know I'm telling the truth.
A lady said that today when I was talking to her. She said they were talking about you know, the topic, women not being wives. And I said, the question is, do y'all want to be wives? And so they was like, yeah, you know, early 30s. They say, yeah, we want to be wives. They was just like, but they can't make men accept them, you know. And so, like you were saying the right things, what are deal breakers? And so they're settling to just have sex with these guys. It was like, because all they want is just sex, but you giving it to them. So, you know.
Yeah, you getting him what he want.
Sex is all fun and good till somebody end up pregnant.
Yeah, you get him what he wants without anything in return. You know, that has no substance. Because at some point it becomes, okay, what are we doing?
Right. And so, and I told her, I told him, I said, what y'all need to do is stop being so easy.
There you go.
You know, and I know I'm throwing salt on the players out there, but on the cool, stop being so easy. Make us want and respect you. You know what I'm saying? I want you, and I'm gonna respect you, but I know if you gave it up to me too quick, I knew you wasn't for me, because just like I got it quick, somebody else gonna get it quick. I have gotten it quick. So that was really a turnoff to me as far as making you a man.
All the men want to do is get you back to their house so they can Netflix and chill with you. So the men are just as easy.
Well,
I don't know about that.
Most men, that's what they want to do. Get you to their house.
I mean, when women
For
used to say that
whatever
to
reason.
me, I used to say, what else do you have? You got some money? I mean, what else do you have? If I got everything and all we got is the sex thing going. If you don't show me no intellect, you don't show me nothing else. What else do you have?
Nothing.
We got Austin back on the panel.
What about the woman that has the intellect and the education?
Then don't be quick to give it up. Okay.
Wait a minute. She may not be quick to give it up, but she like it hot, and you like it cold.
Well, one of the questions
I think with the cold thing, we would have compromised a little bit on that. I wasn't gonna be uncomfortable, but I would have seen her a few more times to try to see, can we meet this temperature halfway, you know, if I liked her that much. If she checked majority of my boxes and just couldn't stand my cold house, me personally, you know, but like Kurt said, it probably was more into
it could
than
be
also,
or it could be,
and that was the final straw.
What if it's
that
a pet? What if you got cats? She don't like cats, or you got dogs? She don't like dogs.
You know, because I can't take. You know, we not gonna see if we can go to the next level because you don't like the temperature in my house or my vehicle. As hard as it is to find someone to check a lot of boxes, you know, it would have had to been a couple of deal breakers that I didn't like. Her conversation, or too independent, too many kids, you know, something like that.
Yeah, it could have been other things. We didn't get into it too much. I don't know why, you know.
And I done lost all the volume. I don't hear nothing.
Can you tell me what too independent look like?
Hold on, because I don't hear nothing. Hold on.
My thing is, I like independent. I like you to be able to. I like you to be able to handle your own, do whatever you need to do. But
do men
we can come
clingy?
No, clingy don't have to be in there. But I like time together. So that's one of my love languages. I love spending time together. But again, independent is fine with me. You know. So I don't have an issue with that.
Okay, you're saying not connected.
There's a difference between me being independent enough to be self-sufficient and meaning I can take care of myself and my kids or my dog, right? And I don't necessarily, I don't need somebody to support me in that way. But that don't mean I'm so independent to the point where I don't want my companion. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because, you know, sometimes my wife take out the trash. And I'm like, what the hell you do that for? I was like, I say, you couldn't wait on me, how your dick popped out. So
no, it just was full, or it was something that she wanted to get out the house right then.
Yeah, but that's I had to get used to that because I identified that that's something that she does, right? You know, sometimes I put up the dishes or wash the dishes or tend to the baby. So independence to me is just a person that can take care of themselves. And I don't think you can be too independent unless you start stating
whether you're there or not. Regardless of whether you're there or not, right? You can function.
Right. You can function whether I'm there or not, because what that means to me that you don't need a man in your life per se, but
I got your back, you got my back. We can stand back to back. I got this side, so you got
make that choice.
Yeah, my woman is very independent. She can go purchase a car. She know how to purchase a house. She know how to go to the grocery store and just get basic shit. She'll picking out meat ain't her thing, but she'll do it. You know what I'm saying? She's very, she's very independent. But she also allows or is capable of having a leader who's able to make sure everything runs properly and makes the right decision. So you want that balance. One of my sons got a wife. Yeah, she basically can't shop without. She just a lot of basic stuff you would think she could deal with, she struggled with. And it's interesting to me for a person that's 35 years old. But you'd be surprised, man.
So what about that issue that men like to feel needed?
And I said that one time. Austin, come in on the men want to feel needed, because we had a discussion on that like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we like to feel.
And me personally, I don't necessarily have to feel needed because I feel all my spaces, right? And my wife feels all my spaces for me for being a man. So I don't necessarily have to be needed. I do my part in this relationship, and which allows me to lead, be the husband, be the man, all of those things. But I don't necessarily feel like I need to be needed because shit, I don't like putting stuff together. I don't really like going out and mowing the lawn. So I don't. We have people for that, and that's what we do. But yet and still, I put stuff together. But she doesn't need me. I mean, I don't have the need to feel needed because I have my worth already. I know my worth already. So, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I think that's where I feel like that too. Needed or not, I'm gonna do what I do that I feel like I need to do. But if she can get out there and do stuff herself, I got no problem with it. You know, so me feeling like if she can do something without me, I feel less or threatened. Nah.
I don't worry about that, but threatened by that. But your house is necessary to make run. That's the needed part.
Yeah.
If without you, that house don't run the same. You know that for a fact.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I mean, but even without her, the house doesn't run the same.
It's not.
So that's what I'm saying. We have a balance in our relationship because if either one of us fall off balance, then the house is off balance. So everything is off.
Yeah.
So we
You can
have
tell,
our parts that
like
we
when
fulfill.
mom is sick or when dad is sick, some things it's be different.
Well, I believe I'm willing to bet something detrimental will have to happen for D for his house not to run the same because he's running by himself without her. I'm the same way. I gotta make reason for mainly one reason because I choose to have one. My house will run the same with or without her. So she's here for a reason of want more than need. Need isn't even need.
No.
Right. So I think that person want to be more wanted than needed.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd rather be wanted than needed because if they want you, that gives you more leeway than a person who needs you. I'm gonna stay with you because I need you because you keep my taxes going. You my secretary. You keep me. You my babysitter when I need to run. So I'm gonna keep you around because I need you. Compared to, hey, where you at? Because
Man, you keep going in and out. Do you don't know what's going on?
So I guess my feeling is if men was more vulnerable with these tidbits of information or more trustworthy or honest about it or open up more and let us know that these are the things that they need and want. I mean, because it really does align with what real good wholesome women want. It does what you guys are saying. And I know we're just talking about the men, but what you're saying you guys want as men, how men want it is I see women want it the same way. So I mean it's worse. So where is this disconnect? So if men want it like this and women want it like this, then why aren't we getting it done? Why are men saying what men are saying and why are women saying what they're saying?
Because they've run into bad relationships where they haven't allowed to be vulnerable, and when they have been vulnerable, it's been thrown back in their face. and then they've been called weak or soft or not a man at all. So once you get into a good relationship, you can't recognize that good relationship because you have so much past relationship hurt, which doesn't allow you to allow yourself to be vulnerable because you don't want to go back through that what you experienced.
So, what would be a good time frame between one relationship to before you start a next one for a person to just really do the work that they need to not take that baggage with them along the way? Because what I tend to notice is men jump in relationships really fast. That mean they done one woman by tomorrow they got a new one, you know.
Well, men don't jump into relationships really fast; they jump into pussy really quick. Now, there's a
Okay, I
difference.
got you.
So if you jumping from a relationship and then you get into something else, that's just to get your mind off or get
Yeah,
get into get to a sexual situation. But then, then later on you may find another relationship that you're going to go into. But some people don't allow themselves the
time.
time to heal.
I give you
But
credit.
that depends on the individual person, though.
I
The
give you credit.
individual person and how they do it. Now, I would stay in a relationship until I wean myself off of them and I don't like them anymore. So when I move on. They may say quick, but it wasn't quick. It may have took me 6 months to wean myself off of them before I said the hell with it. It might took a year. But when I leave, I'm gone.
Yeah, but see, like Austin said, you might jump into some more pussy. You just exchange.
Okay.
You just exchange, and you ain't got to deal with that. Whatever it was, whether it's anger, whether it's pain, whether it's whatever you was dealing with, you go get some pussy. That just kind of exchange that feeling. You it helps you move away from what you was feeling because now you feeling something other than that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And basically, that's what that is. Is you might move to a different location. You don't think about where you was anymore. You know what I'm saying? You think about where you're going, what's new and excitement. And it's the newness of just and really when you get with somebody new, you be surprised how much you listening then. You just be listening, paying attention to whatever she's saying. Most of the time you ain't even interested. You getting what you want already. And you already like, no, this ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You just doing.
But why AJ and them can't find nobody?
Ladies, let me let you in on something. When a man says that a woman is wife material, he's not just talking about cooking or cleaning. It's much deeper than that. Let me unpack it for you. First thing is that men admire a woman who has emotional stability. This is not about being perfect. This is about a woman who can handle challenges with grace and being able to handle challenges without turning everything into chaos. Secondly, support and partnership. Men want someone who's going to be in their corner, somebody that's going to cheer them on, somebody that they can build a life together with. It's about being his teammate, not just somebody who's along for a ride. Number 3, shared values. Whether it's faith, family goals, or a life vision, men want someone who's aligned with what they're actually working towards. It's about being on the same page when it matters the most. Lastly, authenticity. Forget trying to be Mrs. Perfect. Men see through that. What men value is someone who's real, confident, and comfortable being themselves. So here's the truth. Being wife material is not about what you do for a man. It's about who you are with him. It's that connection, trust, and partnership that makes him think, yeah, she's the one. Don't overthink it. Just be you.
He hit that shit right on the head.
Well, this is exactly what I just said. Women, it aligns with what women want. So if women want this and men want the same thing, then where therein lies the issue? Why is there this big disconnect?
The issue is you're not finding a person that aligns with you at the same time. Like the gears on a wheel, they have to line up at the same time to make things work. So you have to find the right person at the right time that's looking for what you want. you all work together to build what that successful
And the
relationship.
thing about it, AJ, like most of the time, you don't see it coming.
Yeah. Now, everybody that I kind of liked, it wasn't that many, but the one or two that I did kind of like and think about the future with, the gears didn't align. Either I'm single and they're talking to somebody, they're single and I'm talking to somebody. We just never could line up. Or they're going through something where they need to take a break, and we just didn't line up. So like he said, and what Kurt, I'm saying, yeah, and like you said, you have to bring, it has to line up at the same time if you're looking for that husband, that wife material. He has to be at a certain point in his life. She's at a certain point in his life. They share in certain values. It has to be more in common than physical and sex. Sex and the physical features.
But my point is, who you with, you didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming. I was minding my own business.
And me neither.
Yeah, I didn't want nobody.
The person I saw myself with, it didn't work out. It was the wrong timing.
Right.
She's probably more that person now than she was when I was with her. You know what I'm saying? We still good friends, and you get to see more of her. And she even told me, I wish I was the person that I am now, when we were together.
Right.
And saying that was my thing. My wife, that is my real wife, it took me years to get back to her. She had me blocked for 16 years. And then we finally got back together, but it wasn't the right time at that time, I'm assuming. So when we got back together, now everything works like lobster and butter.
And I think for you, AJ, because of the position you chose, you kind of, it's kind of like your stance is so stiff now, you pass up more opportunities than you take. Because you got to a stage in your life that you're not willing to take risk. You get what I'm saying? AJ.
Oh, for me, it's just the sex. I'm not asleep. My science is messing with me, but I'm all right. I just took my little cold medicine. But
take your ass.
It's just
she just loves sex.
I said it's just the sex for me. I'm not having sex, and I'm not comfortable having sex. So I know I'm not gonna get pregnant again. I'm just scared of that.
But you've been afraid of that. But you've been passing it up for 40 years, and now you decided to close the door. I don't get that.
Years, you gonna let me, ain't it?
You just be, you was like passing it out.
I was not just passing it out. First of all, I'm selective with mine,
you don't want to get it.
It ain't no free for all. Let's not get that twisted, please, sir.
I mean
do that.
5 times free and you charge one person. I get it.
For all, no,
I get it. 5 for 1, I get it. But I was like,
yo, somebody got to say it, and I'd be the bitch to say it, fellas. A lot of these women ain't wife material. You want to know why? I'll fucking tell you. These bitches ain't wife material because they were not raised by a wife. They never seen their mother get loved properly by a man. They never witnessed their mother have respect and show appreciation and take care of her man. They've never seen effective communication. They've never witnessed teamwork. The only thing that they've witnessed is the sacrifice that their mother probably had to make to survive. They never witnessed any sacrifices made towards happiness, towards family, towards appreciation, towards the future. And then a lot of us are taught to protect our heart and stay guarded and don't need a man for nothing. And a lot of women carry the bitterness that their father left with their mother. But I don't know shit. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm out.
What you feel about that one, AJ?
That was actually a good point. That was actually a good point. A lot of women,
to a certain extent. a lot of women, just like a lot of men, didn't see husbands and dads and their fathers. Women didn't either, right? I'm a firm believer in you got to know where you stand, right? And I don't stand on that side. I was able to see loving relationships. I'm able to be in one. I've had them, you know. The difference is I'm just not in that point of where sex is not my priority. Sex is just not my priority. I was a 41-year-old mom and that lost a child. And I don't want to have sex again until I know. I mean, unless I'm married or something, and God say and put a baby there, then I'll be okay with that. But at this point in my life, I'm just not trying to be no 41-year-old baby mama to nobody, because he wanted to have sex and I did, and you know, just so he don't run off. You gotta you know, not like you say, Kurt, pass up the opportunity of a good man because all he wanted was a little coochie. Well, you know, that is what that's gonna be.
I mean,
so how long was you dating?
I mean, like I said, I've been in 10-year relationships. I've had them all.
This guy you just.
How many times you were cheating in them 10-year relationship?
I'm not a cheater.
But I'm saying
I'm not a cheater. Now, have I been with people that was cheating on somebody? Yes.
But this guy you said. But this guy you said. He seemed like he was cool and all, but he just wanted a little coochie. How long were you talking to him?
It didn't take but what, a month is for this to come out.
Was he hubby material?
I don't know. I never got a chance to see because I had to end up telling him, baby, you know what I think you should do is go find you somebody to hunch.
So you never did give him none?
I told him go find him somebody.
So you ain't give him none? No,
and he seemed cool and you know, but I never got to see anything else because you know he blocked it. He blocked it because I blocked it because I got it blocked. But it's blocked for a reason.
But he quit coming around.
Well, he does that hey friend, how you doing type shit. And you know, it's like, hey, how you doing? How you been? Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. So, and we'll do that in a month from now, and you know, until that filters out probably.
So he's stalling, right? He just biding his time, figuring you gonna get.
But see, I'm not a space holder.
Where you gonna get lonely enough, and you're gonna call him one night.
I'm gonna call him up one night.
That's what he waiting on.
I know, right? But see, he gonna have to wait on menopause.
Here's the number one sign that a woman's wifey material. The number one sign that a woman is wifey material is if she goes above and beyond for you without expecting anything in return. Where she gets a certain peace, a certain enjoyment while making sure her man is straight. Especially in today's modern women. This is a rare quality to find. A lot of girls in today's time have that hot girl, city girl type of mentality. And a lot of these girls are more masculine than the dudes out here. So finding a woman who genuinely want to play her position and allow you to lead the relationship is mandatory. Once this man see a woman going above and beyond for him, he will strive to give her nothing less than the best life he can provide for her.
I mean, I'm solid.
Now,
when it comes to relationships, I feel like I'm solid. I'm gonna make somebody a good partner. I'm solid, and I'm doing the work. See, to make sure that I don't take my baggage or none of that shit with me. You see, so I'm doing the work, and so you know, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But see, it's gonna happen without me having to have sex first.
Well, Kurt will tell you what he just said is the reason I'm in my relationship. She showed a side that I never seen. She offered me something. I wasn't offering her nothing. She offered me. Like I say, my house had got broken in. My son was in a frenzy. She's like, "Do you need me to come?" And she was buying things, and I didn't know her but like 3 months, and so that meant something to me. Is the only reason, you know, that I went on and said, "Let me try this serious relationship thing," because I was burnt out on relationships. So what he said, someone that can do something for you first without asking for something in return, that's what got me in mind.
So
That's when I was like, okay, she good people.
Let me explain something to you, AJ. And you may not believe this. I've been with women who I waited to have sex with, and I've been with women who we slept early on. This relationship I'm in now, it was pretty. We'd known each other for, I don't know, a couple of years. But I was married, and she was in a relationship. She told me, she said, "Hey, I'm not a cheater. She said, if I'm with you, I'm committed to you. If I get out of this relationship, sure, we could go on a date, you know." So time passed. I think he was the type of dude that she had to be up under him 24/7. If he in the kitchen, he want her in the kitchen too. You know,
Oh no.
he want her, and she's like, it shit just got overbearing. And then he was a drinker, and then he would get fucked up, and then he put hands on her one night, and she was like, "You ain't got but one time to hit me, and I know all the signs. I'm out of here." So anyway, long story short, we were supposed to. One of my partners invited me to go to a boxing, to go see a fight, and he knew both of us. He was like, "Yeah, my boy Kurt supposed to be coming to fight." She said, "Oh shit, if he coming, she said, I might come watch the fight, you know." So she went, and I didn't go that night. I went somewhere else, you know. I didn't know she was gonna be there. So the next day he said, "Hey man, I thought you was coming through, man. Somebody came through and was looking for you." I was like, "Looking for me?" And he told me who it was. I was like, "Oh, okay." So when I saw her again, I was like, "Oh, I heard you was looking for me." She said, "Yeah." She said, "I thought you was gonna come see the fight." And we started a conversation. I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll make it up to you." And we went on our first date. It was maybe a week or two after that, we got together. And there were things about our conversation, you could kind of tell where this was going to go, based on the honesty. You know, she put everything out there from the beginning, you know. And me, because of the type of relationships I'd already been in, I could tell that this was going to be different. And she didn't want anything from me. She had her own, you know what I'm saying? She just recognized the type of person I was. First of all, the things that I let her know, I could only be me. Period. I'm not finna try to act like I'm somebody else. I'm not finna filter my mouth because I'm around, or not certain things, or not be this. I'm gonna be me 100%. When I was first wife, I just had to sit there and act like you couldn't say shit. You couldn't be this. You couldn't be yourself. You know,
be yourself.
You couldn't be yourself around her people. You know, and I wasn't finna deal with that kind of shit no more. I am who I am. I got a potty mouth. Ain't got no problem with it. If I scale it back, it's gonna be because I want to scale it back.
I want to. Right.
You don't like me, you don't want to be around me, that's fine. Stay your ass over there.
I ain't finna water myself down for you, baby.
Because I'm comfortable in my own skin. I spend so much of my time trying to fit the fuck in. Well, I ain't finna try. I don't give a fuck about fitting in. I give a fuck about being able to be okay with myself. Because when you try to fit in, you killing yourself. You can't. You get somewhere by yourself and you can't stand your own self.
Cause you can't even stand to be alone.
Because you wasn't being you, and you know you wasn't being you. You know what I'm saying? You just over there don't even want to give your own opinion because you feel like you ain't gonna be accepted. Well, I'm cool. I'm cool with you not accepting me. You ain't got to like me. I don't give a fuck.
Right. Right.
But it took me a long time to get there, see, because you have to understand, I used to fuck with teachers and all of these people who think they better than you, see, because they come from a different background than you.
Yeah.
And out they the worst ones. They ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't live.
Ain't got no type of integrity or morals.
Well, they don't live with their honest self. And then when you find out the truth about them, they try to hide all that shit they got in the closet. But you know,
right.
You be like, oh, okay. You got a lot of gall trying to tell me how I look.
Right.
And so she just showed me a side like that she fucked up about Kurt. Not what I got, not what I'm trying to have. She fucked up about the person. You go what I'm saying? Ain't the mother to my child better than the mother did. You know what I'm saying? She's just such a good heart, man. And she told me early on, she said, I remember the first card she got me that had some meaning to it. And so when I read the card, it kind of like, damn, how'd she find this card? She told me she looked for hours.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah, mine did that too.
This card
that's me. It's got to mean something.
But then what she wrote in it after that, you know, and she said, I said, you feel this way? She said, shit, I know a real man when I see one. And that meant everything to me.
Yeah.
And I know she was about who I was as a person. Because I never got that type of emotion that a person was truly into me.
Mm-hmm.
It was either how good I fucked them or how much money what I was able to give them. You know what I'm saying? Because good dick go a long way. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They want to give
AJ no.
Stop playing with me, Black.
Yeah, that's why AJ in half the situation she done been in.
Beautiful women are everywhere, but you have to make sure that you're choosing with more than just your eyes. I want you to think about your last 2 to 3 relationships and why they ended. And I want you to write those things down. And I want you to think about what you need from a woman. When a woman enters your life, if you need a woman that's patient, write it down. If you need a woman that's loyal, write it down. If you need a woman that's committed, write it down. You have to date the woman that you need and not just the woman that you want. It's the same thing when you're purchasing a vehicle. You can't just purchase a vehicle because it looks good. The most important thing to the vehicle is the engine and the transmission. The engine and the transmission has to work to take you to your destination. When you're in a relationship and you want to have longevity and you plan on going somewhere, you have to focus on the mind and the heart. That's like the engine and the transmission. Looks are a bonus, but if you truly want to be happy, you have to understand that that shouldn't be your number one focus. Choose the woman that you need and not just the woman that you want.
And choose that person that want you. I mean,
that
really,
want you. Mm-hmm.
Fuck that person you want.
Yeah.
She wants something. She don't want you. I mean, you know that person you want, that ain't the person that wants you.
Yeah.
If you was to do a blind test and to fill out a description of your man, none of your identities will probably be on that list. Or maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, so, you have to find really the main thing that you like in that woman and make sure she likes you too.
Absolutely.
Because you can find what you're looking for, especially now, like he said, it's a beautiful, and I say on all my podcasts, It's a beautiful bitch on every corner now. Back in the Gap, it was rare, and everybody was tugging at the same one. But it's a pretty bitch on every corner now.
Yeah.
So beauty is not the top thing. That ain't it no more. So it has to go beyond that. Now get something, like I said, I gotta have something that turns me on, something that appeals to me. I can't say, well, she has the intellect and she has the perfect personality, but then I'm looking at her and she look like a run over shoe or something. I can't personally do that. But that wouldn't be the first. We're attracted to them anyway, instantly, because most men are physical creatures anyway. We're physical.
In the dark, though, it all look the same.
Yeah. Especially now. Because you're gonna but like I say, you'll see something that catches your eye. And if that turns you on, then you go and see what other attributes do she have. You know what I'm saying? What else? Then if it don't, because like I say, it's one or two that wasn't up here, and everybody was like, you let her, you didn't talk, she didn't have nothing else, going. You know what I'm saying? It was a turn off.
I done had some chicks with some fire, man. And
Couldn't
then
talk to her.
I can't stand to be around them 10 minutes after it's over with.
Yeah.
That conversation you be like, oh man. You feel like you're talking to a doorknob. You're like, damn.
They lost. All they want you for is sex. So at that time, that's not wifey material. It's not wifey material. So you like, okay, so.
And so AJ, what I'm saying, even though we had sex early, I still wind up with the right person. It's been almost 15 years now that we've been together. You know what I'm saying? And she has so many little, because of her honesty, I was able to witness so many other attributes about her. Her strength and her hard work, and even like she don't cook. She told me she don't cook. She told me from the get-go. I was like, well, that ain't no big deal. I know how to cook. And I like cooking. I don't mind cooking. But she'd go to the store, man, and she buy things. I'm like, damn, she know how to pick that out. Like, okay, and she would do stuff. She never go to a store and don't do something for me without like I'd be surprised I didn't see it coming. You know what I'm saying? Even if she go like clothes shopping, it's something in that bag for me. I was with a motherfucker 20 years and never got a pair of socks.
Oh yeah, that was the wrong motherfucker.
You see what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So
it's the little things.
It's the little
things.
It
be the little
That's why
things.
I like that song. I played that on when I was live, I think last week. That song, the little things, that means a lot.
Yeah, so listen, that day like don't mess around. We going on vacation or something, man.
Gotta get you straight.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get together, baby. We together. You gotta represent me.
Yeah, baby.
Gotta get you together.
Yeah, baby. I thought you might like this. And this
is how you gonna smell. I got you 3-4 choices.
Now mine be doing that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but that's D. That shit feel kind of good though, don't it? You be like, okay, all right.
I want to pick my own cologne out though.
If I give you 3 choices,
wear this when you with me.
If somebody gives you 3 different choices of a scent that they took their time out to smell and pick out, and on you.
I've been trying it out the last couple of weeks. I'm like, okay, I'll throw this on.
Like it?
It's cool.
Like it?
It's cool. It's cool, but men have their favorites, their top 2 or 3.
That's true. That's true.
But then when you come out of left field,
try something new. I like
when you come out of left field with try this, it just takes me,
Hey,
but I'm learning. I'm bending. It just took a minute because I wasn't a bending type,
Yeah. Oh, he getting grown now because his ass was like. He's 22 for a long time. He getting a little grown over there.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming.
That
but
Austin,
man.
That Creed cologne.
Yeah, that was she bought. She got that 2 weekends ago when Renard and everybody came down here. She came with that Creed.
That's shit fire, man. That's shit.
It's fire. Bro. I like I like. I don't know, man. It's cool. It's cool though.
I get a lot of compliments on that Creed, man. I be in the store, man, like, damn, what did you got on? You know.
Yeah, I mean, I throw it on when I'm with her. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool.
These are 4 ways to know she's wifey material. Let's go. 1, she has a healthy relationship with her father. Now, everybody deserves love, and if your father's not in your life, I apologize, and you deserve love too. From my experience, bro, fatherless women gave me the most problems. They're combative. They like to argue. They like to fight. And they don't respect men. They don't even know what it is to respect a man because they never had a man to look up to. Also, she didn't have a good relationship with her father or her father at all, bro. These are the girls that seek unhealthy male validation, right? They're posting half-naked pictures. They're going on 3 dates a week because they're testing their options. Let me tell you something. Any good girl I ever dated, bro, they talk to one man at a time. Like, how much male validation do you need that you're going on 3 dates a week? Like, that's crazy. Even me as a man, when I chill with more than 2 girls in a week, I feel crazy. But listen, everybody deserves love now, you know what I'm saying? If she's the few off the bat that's actually a good woman, give her a chance. 2, she has hobbies outside of taking Instagram pictures, twerking, or partying and drinking every weekend, right? She paints, she rollerblades, she skateboards. I like girls that do different shit like that. 3, she treats you like a mother in the talking stage, right? Now, I know you modern girls, y'all better comment, oh, he got mommy issues. Listen, bro, any good girl I ever had, bro, treated me like a king in a talking stage, bro, to prove their fucking worth. Now, I don't ask for this stuff, right? But is it a coincidence the 4 good girls I ever had in my life all treated me the same way in the talking stage? But you single, lonely girls be like, oh, I'm not doing wife material things in the talking stage. That's why you're single and lonely now with your fucked up dating relationship expectations. 4, she's very soft in the way she talks and her energy and her aura, right? She's not cursing, nigga, fuck, bitch, this, none of that bullshit. I used to date these type of girls, right? As you start to mature as a young man, right, you realize these are very masculine women. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to date a... Nah, let me stop. I'm out of here.
Good points, but some of that shit...
Right,
he's talking, I think, more about the,
he got all these good
the 30 and under women.
He had was doing all that. Why he ain't still with them?
Right, but it doesn't matter because after a while, what actually takes influence over your life is your friends. That's the biggest influencer. It's starting in your teen
especially younger. These
right.
Yep.
And
oh
then,
man, the friends hold so much weight.
Yep. So, but learning to see what a real marriage looks like is great. But if you don't implement or apply those things in your life, then it's not gonna work. So it doesn't matter if you had came from a 2-parent household. Yeah, if you came from a 2-parent household or not, because I've had situations where I've had women that came from 2-parent households and it didn't work out because they still didn't know how to act or how to be that what people call wife material or to put themselves in a wife place.
Guess what? And some people in a 2-parent household, they mama wear the pain.
Yeah.
Well, that just goes back to certain cultures raise their girls to be wives.
Right.
Now, you can look at Austin and I different insights of what we saw at home, but you can look at how your mom was treated and how dad treated mom or whatever. And you can choose, well, I'm not going to do that, or I'm not going to be that way, or I'm not going to, or I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So as a man and women, what you see in that household can mess with what happens to you in your future. It can affect your future.
Environment does impact you.
It impacts you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
But
that don't necessarily mean that because your environment is a certain way that you're gonna end up being a certain way.
Right.
Though.
That's why I said you get to choose. Well, I'm not gonna do that. I'll never treat my wife like that, or I'll never treat a woman like that. If you saw your mom getting beaten and battered, because they were doing that in our days. Um, you know, so you can choose how you're gonna be. Then a lot of times men try to run from that, and they end up being abusive anyway, especially if it was their biological father that was the abuser. You
But
know,
but
it,
sometimes
that's another topic, but it's deep. But yeah, that's learned behavior.
sometimes
So
and stuff teaches you what not to do also. Even though
mhm,
you bear witness to a lot of things, it doesn't mean you have to be that way. So
right.
sometimes
Right.
have just the opposite effect. But the
Mhm.
one point I give the dude credit for is having a combative, loudmouth,
Oh yeah.
opinionated woman. That shit can't work for me.
Yeah.
Uh, talking crazy to me because
It can't work for none of us on the panel because we're grown. Now
yeah,
them little 30-year-olds and under little fuckers be taking that abuse. I can't do it. I'm not even finna start it. I'm not even finna play like that.
it ain't even finna happen.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
First of all, and to be honest with you, I don't even like you. Don't even raise your voice at me a certain way. Your energy got to be right because when I talk to you, I ain't gonna never come out of pocket with you. I'm gonna always keep it calm and always keep it at the level it need to be. But what you ain't finna do is talk crazy with me. If you fucking embarrass me, you gonna be the one with your feelings hurt. And I'm
Right.
not gonna put hands on you.
I mean, on the cool, I think women know who to do that with.
Right.
Because I've seen guys, you know, say, well, good luck. You know, I did this and now she did this and that to me. When they give me quiet as a damn mouse, so quiet as a church mouse, you can hear a rat piss on cotton.
There
So
you
they know. I feel like women know who to sass, who to call a bitch, who to steal their wallet, who to talk down to around their friend. I think they know who to do that shit with.
I agree with you.
Yeah. And Austin and I, we used to always tell them guys who used to come to us, man, you better watch her. She gonna do this and now. She did that with y'all. She ain't finna do that with us. And that was our whole phrase. We should have put that shit on a shirt. Now
True.
she do that with y'all. She don't do that with us.
I laugh when
You
somebody
know.
don't do this
So
or she do that. Oh, okay, yeah,
yeah.
that's your experience. That's your experience.
Yeah, they know. They know, just like they know who to ask for money up front. They know.
I
So,
had
you know,
I had a woman tell me, uh, and she told me, she said, a weak ass nigga, I run him like bathwater. I said, well, shit. You be in a dry tub fucking with me.
and
Don't happen.
These are 4 ways to know she's wifey material.
What is the difference between a woman that wants to be a wife versus a woman that just wants a husband?
Oh, you know what? I think most of us are bred to just want a husband, whereas to be groomed and trained to be a wife means to understand how to respect masculine energy, how to truly be inside of your feminine, which means trusting the leadership of your partner, because feminine chooses certainty. Feminine doesn't choose flow, because feminine is flow, right? Feminine energy. When we choose to understand that it is our biggest opportunity to seek out the needs of a man without him expressing them, I think a beautiful opportunity for us to empower that man and ride through the storms. I feel like we live in a weak generation where things get hard and people immediately are like, oh, I quit. This is too hard. And that's like, it's never going to hinder you the result you want. If you keep quitting, to be groomed as a wife means it's compassion. It's longevity. That's where marriage starts. When you get married, you say, I do. It starts. Whereas other people, it's like when you get married, I made it. No, you didn't make it. You hate that man. You hate that woman. Y'all can't stand each other. You don't care enough to not disrespect each other or call each other out of your own name. You don't care enough to not want to sleep on opposite sides of the bed when there's a problem. You don't care enough to have the hard conversation so that you can move together more powerfully. That's just to have a husband. But when you want to be a wife, things are different, in my opinion.
That's very.
She made some valid points. You know, a lot of people, man, don't even have the proper awareness of what's going on in a relationship. A lot of times, you might come home from just say you had a rough day at work and you might be a little quiet or whatever, and if you got a real wife, she'll be able to identify that, and she might give you your space, or she might make things more comfortable for you. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
someone think it's something they did. Oh, what I done did?
They
you ain't
say,
talking.
I ain't done nothing to you. So whoever pissed you off at work or whatever bitch you mad at, you need to take that up there because I ain't done shit to you. That's in a blues song. I ain't done nothing to you.
And so my woman is able to see that, okay, he might need a space. He might be feeling something. If he want to talk to me, he'll come talk to me. You know, and that's a real woman. But women are so quick to think that everything that a person going through is about them. It's not about it. Sometimes it has nothing to do. And I'm able to identify the same thing for her. When she's on a cycle, when she's going through something, and I might say, oh, so I might tell a joke and I don't get no reply on it. Oh, okay, I know what's going on. I see.
Fuck
and I
it,
get
It might not be funny.
But see, that take experience, though. See, that take having great awareness. Quit thinking about you. When you ain't did shit, you ain't got nothing to feel guilty about. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't gain that awareness until you do that self-evaluation. People don't regularly and randomly self-check themselves. We don't self-evaluate, so we don't become self-aware.
If you're not,
they think they done did some shit.
If you're not intentional about knowing your spouse, the person that you're with, knowing when they're up, knowing when they're down, knowing those little intimate and intricate things about them, then you're not doing that relationship any justice.
Absolutely.
My wife and I, we go to the doctor with each other, into the examining rooms, and she just went to start going to this new doctor, and the doctor was like, she would ask questions and I would answer before my wife could, or my wife looks to me to answer certain questions because there are things that I see.
Right. Now, and that's what we do, Austin. And a lot of times she get mad because she don't want to tell them, and I'm like, in order for them to correct or rectify the problem, we need to let them know what's really going on.
Don't be in
why did you tell them that? And why did you tell them that? But yeah, I'm like, awesome. I'm answering the questions for her, and she's like, nah, she don't really like when I do that.
But
some things we love for you to advocate for us, but we don't need you dry snitching and all that on us.
Telling the doctor.
But D, it's certain things about a woman they don't like to. Like my woman don't hate. She hate to hurt feelings of people. Right? We go to a restaurant. That shit ain't right. You know who complaining? Me.
Yeah.
I paid my money. I'm finna let them know. She'll be like, "Oh no, baby, it's all right." No, it ain't all right.
It ain't all right, babe.
Baby, I can eat it. No, the fuck you can't. Hey, waiter, come here. And she'll feel more satisfied getting what we paid for. I don't have a problem paying for what it is that I asked for.
Right.
You giving me some bullshit and thinking I'm okay with it. And I don't do the restaurant no justice if I don't let them know where they fucked up.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? It's my job. If I'm rendering service for you and you paying me for service and you say, hey, DJ Black, man, them songs you put in, man, that shit was trash, man. If you don't say nothing, I go to the next place and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But if I tell, hey, man, that steak y'all use, that shit was too salty or whatever, I help them get better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I let them know you ain't just finna just serve me some shit and you ain't check it to see if it's right before you served it. You should always know what you serving if you in that business, man. You know what I'm saying? So she's not combative. She's very, very Now it's funny because she's a boss at work, so
You don't get it.
at work. But in her personal life, she just as meek as she's like she just don't want to hurt nobody's feeling, man. I'm like, fuck all that.
Man, damn that.
I done paid my money.
That's me.
Yeah.
10 signs that she is not wifey material. Y'all ready? Let's get into it, family. Number 1, does not take accountability for her actions, lacks humility. Number 2, unwilling to compromise. Number 3, selfish or egocentric. Number 4, highly attention seeking to her own detriment. Number 5, does not know how to communicate effectively. Either she doesn't do it or she doesn't have the tools to communicate effectively. Number 6, lazy, lacks ambition. Number 7, driven by superficial and insecure impulses. Number 8, easily influenced by other people's opinions. Number 9, acts entitled to things she ain't entitled to. Number 10, when they have not healed from their past trauma, when you are in constant comparison with her past.
On y'all ass. That ain't shit.
Yeah. And guys be seeing these red flags, and like Austin and I would say, and Kurt, we figured we could fix those things. Those were minor, because she's not going to do that with us. She just went through this, had a couple bad relationships. We got this. But after a certain age, and when they've been through what they've been through, they're pretty much who they are in a nutshell to whatever is deep in the core of them. You know, you can't jump in these relationships thinking we can save everybody. That's not going to happen.
You know, AJ, one of the things for you, though, to be honest with you, it's going to be very difficult for you in a very competitive world. Secondly, you're saying that you're not willing to take a risk because you finna remain abstinent until you marry. Good luck with that.
I'm not saying I'm gonna remain abstinent until I'm married.
See, I know she didn't say that. I was gonna say she ain't gonna say that.
That's all
I know what I'm saying is I'm afraid to get pregnant. Y'all don't hear me.
Then strap up here. You scared to wear a condom?
No. Here's the thing about condoms, they work, but they ain't nothing 100%.
You're allergic to them.
She want to feel that skin.
Yeah, she want to feel that real.
No, not necessarily. I mess with condoms though. I mess with condoms. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. It just ain't who worked that risk. I mean, I ain't met nobody work that risk.
Work risk.
I ain't met nobody work that risk.
You've been passing it out like hotcakes.
First of all,
now all of a sudden you're scared.
Let's be real clear. I don't pass out anything like a hot cake, baby. This is not that. This is not that.
Oh man!
Now you gonna tell my story? Tell it right, let me tell it.
She said it ain't. You know.
What you think, man?
I've been.
You go it out. You got to hit me with that one.
Hey, she said she don't pass it out like pancakes. It's more like waffles.
Oh, okay.
You got
I know it's something.
He got. I see y'all. Y'all trying to double team, but I'm a big grown woman. I can handle all three of y'all, baby. I got you.
Ladies, let me.
And that's probably what you used to tell them guys. I can handle all three of y'all.
That's what
bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Stop playing. Stop playing with me.
AJ, I ain't gonna go that far to say nothing like that, but
stop playing with me, D.
She just said, okay, I forgot.
But what I'm saying is, y'all, I'm afraid of that.
Dude, you was
so much so that I'm willing to have sex.
She's scared now.
Yeah, she's scared now.
Been getting it up since probably 12 years old.
So let's just be real.
She waits till 40 years old to get scared.
You gonna quit playing with me about my pimping,
saying she ain't never scared. She said she ain't never scared since she was 12 years old.
You gonna quit playing with me about my pimping. I swear you will.
And now she's scared. Lord,
I swear
these women.
you will.
The lies these black women tell.
You're not fit to be a wife.
Any woman that doesn't appreciate a man or feel like they don't need a man, any woman that's ever uttered those words is not fit to be a wife. And if you feel like you don't need a man, when you get your man, you're going to treat your man like you don't need him without even knowing it. Whether it's subconsciously, inadvertently, or overtly, you're going to do that. And you're not fit to be a wife. So we can start there. That type of woman is not fit because, again, we need each other. A woman who doesn't understand what her role is not fit to be a wife. Your role is not to challenge your husband.
Right.
Your role is not to compete with your husband.
Right.
Your role is not to be an agitator or a nuisance to your husband because he's doing things you don't like.
He made some good points.
He made some valid points.
But AJ, you didn't even give dude a chance. He asked for some cookies, and you
At least he asked for it instead of you throwing it at him. That was different.
First of all, I ain't never had to throw nothing at nobody.
Oh, hell, AJ. This is the Keep It Real podcast, man. We finna send you over
no
to
lies detected.
We finna send you over to Fake as Fuck. Hold on a minute.
When a man will leave you and actually go and marry someone else, how disappointing. Well, the reason, first and foremost, men really do that is because they never found you as marriage material. You were perfect for the role that you played, okay? You were okay with the shacking up and you were okay with having the kids, but you were perfect for the role that he wanted you for, okay? He never saw you as marriage material. He saw you as for the time being, okay? Like I always like to say, you were a placeholder, okay? Because normally when a man spends that amount of time with you, okay, spend time with you like that, and especially that length of a time, they normally want to marry you, okay, because they could see their lives with you, okay? So this is why I say when a dude has been with you 2-3 years and you haven't even been proposed to, okay, not to mention walk down the aisle, okay, he has already identified you as someone that he does not want to marry, okay? And then you women, some of you women like to say, well, I don't want to get married. Why wouldn't you want to get married? You laying up having babies, you're living with them, you're acting like a wife to them. So why would you not want to get married to them? Okay, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense, okay? So stop saying that, because you make it even worse when you say that. What you're literally saying is that you know he don't want to marry you. So you're going to try and justify, I don't want to get married. Yes, you do. Because if you don't want to get married, why would you be living with them? Why would you be sitting up there having multiple kids with them? Why would you be acting like a wife to him? Make it make sense, okay? But you say that because you know deep down in your soul that man do not want to marry you. And guess what? You're right, okay? Because what did he do? He left you and married someone else. And the reason he did not want to marry you is because he did not find you as marriage material, okay? When he looked at you, and the length of time that he'd been around you, he knew that you were someone that he did not want to be locked in with like that, okay? He didn't want to be in a solid, committed relationship with you like that. He wanted to, the relationship that he was in with you was the perfect situation for him, because he knew that at any time, whenever he wanted to escape the relationship, leave the relationship, there was no strings attached, okay? Like I tell you again, when men do that, you are a placeholder, okay? You're really not what he's looking for, okay? You're just for the time being, okay? So this is why I say you must be super careful with that, because again, a man knows if you are wife material, and they know if you are a placeholder.
I mean, she's right, but men got to be careful with women using them as placeholders too. We can work both ways.
Yeah, but I thought about you when she said this, because you did say, AJ, that you didn't want to be a placeholder. So I with the guy that Kirk keep asking you about, you knew you were going to be a placeholder. So what you were saying, Austin?
With that guy, yeah.
I was just really saying that, well, I wasn't really saying anything, but I'm telling AJ we got some help coming, because there's a young lady that wants to jump on the podcast.
Finally, Lord, I've been praying for some more feminine energy up in this
I'm gonna give
man haters club. Thank you,
Give Black
Jesus.
her information so she can jump on here, and so
She
you
should
won't
have
have to
came
take on all
tonight.
this by yourself.
Man, y'all were 4 against 1, but I can hold, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
from
been doing a
South
good job.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh yeah,
Lord.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
We
That's
just heard about y'all had was it 10
Baby, look,
5
look.
killings last weekend before last?
I don't know. I don't watch the news.
Yeah, you know that's
I don't.
When I was looking at y'all and cooking with y'all and
that's
Perfect
crazy.
example of what you just spoke of.
Okay.
The woman that is with Mark, Tim, Rick, Bobby, Mike, Monday through Friday. That's not wife material. So it's like, how do you want somebody to take you in and be serious with you when you're not carrying yourself as such? So it's all in how you carry yourself as a woman. Like, you know, you want to be respected. You want, I'm the prize. Like, you want a
Them
man want to
shoulders is
feel.
just
A
going.
man just want to feel like they got something that everybody didn't have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just all in how you carry yourself. I believe in being. I like a little hood. I'm hood. I'm from New Orleans, but I believe in being classy, like, and poised. Like, I gotta carry myself a certain kind of way. Everybody ain't gonna say that and had that. I ain't gonna embarrass my husbands like that. Whoever I'm married, that you got a prize. Cause that one, ain't nobody could say they had it. So that it's like, it's all in how you carry yourself. I'm just keeping it real.
Please.
And we all grown. We got different kind of women again. Some women are like more sexually driven. So it's like, that's their prerogative. This our body. You do what you want. You live how you want. But also understand when it comes to that next phase in life, when you want to settle down and marry, they looking at
That
you
resume
like,
stick with you.
yeah, it's like you can't run from that.
Cleavage, what you think about that, D?
That's
do
what
I
I
think about
always
what you
talk about
said?
that, and I'm gonna use that clip whenever we really started back talking about the body count thing.
Okay,
Men,
well, let's bring it up. Because see, my body count is my body count, and ain't nobody gonna ever make me feel bad about it.
hey,
I'm more or
like
less.
she say,
I'm more or less. It wasn't.
there
It
are
wasn't
women
less.
out
It
there
more or
that's more
less.
sexually
You
driven.
you
You're
kept
one of
on
those.
going
I don't have my camera on.
with me. It was more or less you go and get this guy, that guy. You may get the same guy and run him down 2, 3, 10 times. See what I'm saying? 2 or 3, 10 times, and then there is you got more. You're more sexual than he is. Okay, so then you need to go find somebody that maybe can't keep up, right? So it wasn't no free for all. Let's just be clear on that. I'm very selective and still the pride and still value myself and can hold myself and walk in the room and not everybody be the fuck everybody in the room black like you think, like you trying to portray me in.
No,
that's not.
You
This
come
not
on here
that.
and you say it's a lot of
This
women who
not
have
that.
come through this podcast that gets mad when the subject of body count comes up, and
I don't though.
they don't understand why men should care about a body count. And the only reason that it, like I say, with me being who I was, a big fish in a small pond when I was in Bastrop, I got tons of haters. And like I say, people didn't book me to DJ because they like me as a person. They booked me to DJ because I'm good at what I fucking do. I'm good at playing this music. I'm not that friendly kiss ass type. Once I get through, I'm DJing, I pack up, I get paid. See ya. That's me. And so when they was having a debate online a while ago, they was like, y'all be defending this guy and he don't even speak to y'all when he see y'all at Walmart. I'm minding my own business. I'm not that friendly out there, kiss ass. I'm not looking for support. Everybody can't drive a Lexus or a Lamborghini. Some people need to be in their Toyotas. So with me being that I'm saying that, I couldn't be because I had so many haters, and Kirk know, Austin know, so many damn haters that whoever I get, they're gonna be looking to see had they ran a train on her, had they cousins hit her, had can they hit her, had they hit her, so that was an issue with me because I didn't want to walk into a party and have her sitting up, or me and her sitting up at a party, and everybody mumbling and whispering because half of the room then screwed her. So that was my thing. Not that it degrades the woman per se. She just wasn't for me. You know, and it's certain women that I would talk to that had messed with DJ buddies of mine, our club owners, our promoters. And I was like, if you hadn't messed with him, or if you didn't have a baby by him, I couldn't talk to them because I still communicated with these guys. And I don't know what they had. And he may be over to the house. We may be at a party or something, him and his girl, me and mine, and he just screwed mine. I just don't want that tension in the room. So I was very particular about who all done hit my girl, being that I was a big fish in a small pond. So that was my issue with it. But had I been just a regular nigga out there, just a regular smuggler, it wouldn't have mattered. I'd be walking around my head up with the biggest hole. Yeah, y'all had y'all turn. I got it now. But that just wasn't me. I'm self-conscious, and I never really dealt with people. I'm more to myself. And that's why when people like, oh, who this, who that, DJ Black, yeah, he's the best, but I wouldn't get my praise because I wasn't popular amongst their selling dope group, amongst their who done been in jail group. I didn't hang with them. So, you know, popularity, no. They know me. I'm hella popular. But if they go out there and say, hey, who is this? Who is that? Oh, okay, you have a few that's DJ Black riders, but I didn't hang out in the street with them. So I wasn't finna be with no hoe that had been out in the streets, and I wasn't in the streets. So that was just me and my preference. No knock to the women that's out there doing their thing though. You know, hey, pop that cat. You know what I'm saying? Pop it.
Come from a small town like that too. It's easy to get in situations where she might see one of them dudes.
And he on them beans. He been drinking.
And she over there talking to him now. You hearing all this, oh man, I saw DJ Black woman, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. And that's just some bullshit to deal with. I get it. You know what I'm saying? There's always a lot of that in them small ass, nosy ass towns like that.
Yeah. So that's what messed me up, AJ. But had I just been a regular smuggler out there in the city, I'd get one of the guys that ran 20 trains on them probably. And it wouldn't matter. But being that I didn't grow up like that, and I'm self-centered. I'm very particular about who I let in my sight.
I know what a train is, sir. But please stop preparing yourself for using that with me, baby. This ain't that.
Not you, baby. I'm just saying, period. I'm just saying, period, that not you. I'm not talking about you when I say that.
Okay.
I'm saying just period, that the loose woman, period, just wasn't for me. And I didn't care how beautiful she was.
Let's talk about
how popular
the loose
she
woman.
was.
Now I can hear you with the loose woman. More friendly, more sexually into sex, promiscuous, whatever. We could go there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That just wasn't for me. No. And so no knock. You know, to that woman that's exploring her sexuality. But just like Toya said, at the end of the day, on that other side, that history is gonna follow you. You know.
So how is it that you're saying? Okay, so let's put this back on AJ. Okay. And so AJ is a reformed whore now who's celibate, and she don't want to screw. And y'all keep telling me, well, you gonna miss out on your man if you ain't fucking out here. You gonna miss out on your man if you ain't fucking. I mean, if that's the case, then he ain't my man, though. Is he really?
Right. My thing is, I mean, if I met a woman that was saying that she's being celibate or she's saving herself, I'm cool with that. But I mean, now my thing also is I don't want someone that everyone else has had. I don't even really like used cars. You know what I'm saying? So I know everyone has a past, but I also have a limit, right? I might drive a certified used car, which means that it has limited miles on it,
right? And it was taken care of.
Ownership, limited ownership. But me personally, I just don't want someone that everyone has had the opportunity to feel
You talking about a 45-year lifespan? Y'all want to sit up and say like 5? Oh, she had sex with 5 guys. That's a high body count. Let's be real, please. Let's just be real, please.
I give
And
you
then
8.
let's be real. What's your body count? What's your body count?
Men, it don't really matter with men.
Oh, there's no that don't matter.
Men, seriously, society, according to society now.
Don't no woman want to go in a
get
room and
praised.
every hoe in
Men
her
get
knows your
praised.
nigga dick, how long it is, how he do it, which way, because men don't change much. Y'all go from one woman to the same one with the same plan, and so y'all don't change much in the schematics. So way you fucked her, the same way you gonna fuck her, the same way you gonna fuck her. So you want to think some woman want to go in the room and all 3 of us got can share the same story about the same penis?
No, that ain't how they go. It's just like y'all say in relationships, you have to mold to the woman. It's kind of like whenever you with a woman and you're experienced, you have several styles. You might be Wu-Tang, you may be Jitsu, it's whatever style you have to adjust to according to the woman you with a man.
Yeah, and there has been. I've talked to some.
Men got
women.
five signature moves that they use all the time.
Nah, them probably dudes y'all mess with. But my thing is, I've talked to a woman or attempted to talk to one, and we had conversation, and she told me my body count was too high, and I was saying, hey, I can't do no more. Respect that. That's cool.
Right. Certain women, but men get praised on how many women. See, women are born with value because you had that between your legs. A man have to earn his value, and unfortunately, one way that a man earns his value is the amount of women he slept with or the quality of women that he's had.
AJ, all I'm saying to you though is this: whether you wait 6 months or 2 years or 2 days, ain't gonna determine you're gonna have a relationship with longevity.
No, it's not. But if I'm not getting what I need, and if it ain't enough, if I'm not getting what I need, then I'm most definitely not trying to jump in the bed.
Okay,
I mean, I'm just filling you out, and you just filling me out.
So when you talk about what you need, what are you talking about in length of time? Just say, for instance, all these other qualifications are met, right? And it's been a year and a half that he's waited, right? And you decide to give him something. Then what if the quality of sex ain't there? You're gonna decide, well, I can deal with that or what?
By that time, you said over a course of a year and a half.
Yeah.
And he checks all the other boxes.
Yeah.
And then by the time we finally do it, it ain't that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay with it.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, well, until then,
because I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because first of all, it's not. I didn't sign up for that. You see what I'm saying? I didn't sign up to know what he worked with. He can't help what God gave him. No way. Right? So
we're talking about,
girl.
We ain't even talking from a size perspective, but I'm talking about
sex. Period.
From a level of being pleased.
Unless she falls in it.
I guess the sex ain't that important for me right now.
Yeah. So so that's the thing. Some people don't put sex at the top of their list. Sex could be second, third, fourth,
my 1 through 10, sex will be 10.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Some people want that emotional attachment, that emotional, intimate feeling, rather than
I'd rather
just
have
physical,
that in it. That
now. So, like Kurt said, a year or so in that, what about if they say sucking ain't fucking? Okay, so would you consider, because he's gonna need some type of stimulation.
I don't mind intimacy, like cuddling and hugging, maybe so much as kissing, but I do mind the sucking. Because see, it's I don't even masturbate because that brings on a whole nother level of wanting to do it. Right? The more you do something, the more you want to do more of that. So I don't try to put myself in those positions.
So you ain't letting that water run a little bit long, huh?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're gonna let that water run dry. They say if you don't use it, you lose it.
Well, you know what? At this point, I was talking to somebody about that earlier today, and I will be okay with it. I will be okay with it.
I like the fact that you're holding on to that, and that's good. And someone is gonna find value in that because, like I said, I would prefer to have someone in like that thinks enough of themselves to want to hold out. So
Right.
you know that's value.
And it ain't necessarily about, oh, she was a hoe giving it away, and now she trying to be all hush with the coochie now. It is just where I was when I was my younger self is not where I am now. And that's okay, and I'm okay.
Nah,
with
yeah,
it.
it's okay. I talk a lot of crap, AJ, but I'm proud of you for waking up. I clown with you. You my stool on here.
It's all good. I hold no regret.
You know, you
And so
human, but on the
I'm
cool,
just
on the
not
cool.
there.
I admire you for what you're doing because it takes a strong woman to been out there doing her thing to all of a sudden shut down. It's just like fasting.
Baby, it take you getting pregnant at 41. That's what it takes.
Well, AJ,
I keep
really,
telling y'all that.
only reason I comment the way I do, I'm really trying to help you though.
And all your kids grown, and here you go. Your baby is 18, 19 years old, and here you go pregnant. No, it takes that.
Somebody, and I'm just trying to see, that other side of AJ that get on this podcast. She happy and I don't know what. She like, yeah.
I'm happy now.
She happy. It's just that's a journey that she's on.
I can't wait to love on somebody's son like that.
There you go.
I can't wait to. I know I'm solid. I'm doing the work. I'm gonna be solid. I can't wait. If that's in the cards and that's what God got planned for me, then I'm all for it. Am I looking for it? Hell no. Am I content? I'm not necessarily
okay.
content.
The only thing though, AJ, that I'm
self.
seeing is kind of the only thing that I'm seeing, and like Kirk keeps saying, he said this on a couple of podcasts. Good luck with that. Is today we live in a sexual society. The guys 40 and under,
he only got so much patience.
You're gonna have to do something. Now you get somebody 60.
Well, maybe I need a Mr. Willie then.
You get you a Mr. Willie, but you claim that you will be satisfied. You claim you'll be satisfied, but one of the number one reasons of divorce is in the top 5 is sex.
But what would you do if you were in a relationship with a man and he get ED and his penis don't work no more? What you gonna do?
That's in a relationship or in a marriage.
Get EAT
in a relationship right here before you even marry.
It depends.
You ain't gonna marry him still.
Okay, it's a lot of help out there for ED these days.
Oh yeah. Okay. I also said that a while ago.
I guess what I'm saying is it's the same way. Like you say, if I don't use the hole to close. Okay, let's call a spade. That's what we talk about.
That's with
right?
men too.
Okay then. Okay, so I'm just saying. So, but that don't mean once you incapable of having intercourse that you incapable of intimacy. That don't mean that. That don't mean that you incapable of being still connected with your person. That don't mean that.
That don't mean so it don't dry up.
Well, I wouldn't care if it did because I want a different feeling. I want a different. I know what it feel like to be fucked.
You want to be made love.
I need to be loved properly, and I need to love on. Well, most of all, I need to be able to love on somebody's son properly.
But see, for me, I want a woman to be able to want to show me that side of herself. You know what I'm saying? I want to know all parts of her, not just, the emotional attachment. I get the emotional attachment.
And I get that too. And I
Right.
get you wanting me to show you that. But in due time, in due season, right? Don't
Man,
come at me.
I
Don't
feel
come
you,
at me.
AJ.
Because
I
see,
feel you.
then when you come at me asking me for sex and I ask you for money, then I'm a hoe. You
Why
want to
am
fuck?
It's
Listen,
rough
you
out there
want
now,
me?
AJ. It's
why
rough out there.
even come up though?
It's still rough. It's
It's
always gonna
rough
be
out there
rough.
now. Yeah, it's rough out there because the world is different now. You
Women
looking
got
for that
choices.
new edition,
Choices
Johnny
now.
Gill
No,
stuff.
I'm not.
They on that
I
Chris
just
Brown
don't
right
want
now.
sex. I
They
just
on
don't
that
want
Chris
sex to
Brown right
be.
now.
And I get that. I just don't need sex to be the first thing.
Well,
Number one,
good luck.
I don't
The way
need
that's
sex
gonna
to be
work,
in the top
AJ,
three.
on the cool, the way that's gonna work because there's so many women to a man now. The way that work, and you're just gonna have to deal with it until you ready. When you call his phone and he ain't picking up, and he call you an hour and a half later, and then he come over there within 2 hours and hold you and cuddle and do all that shit. Just know he was satisfied before he got there. Real nigga shit.
Real nigga shit.
Yeah.
What can I do about that?
Hey,
Just, you know,
really, you
keep
just
it
have to
real.
find somebody that's aligned with what your thought process is, your
Mr. Willie.
emotional needs, and there is someone out there that's
Mr.
thinking
Willie.
along the same lines that you are, that's on a spiritual journey, you know, and so they're
It
trying to
started
correct their
off.
errors.
It started off as fear of getting pregnant, being like I said, pregnant again, too fertile. Okay, okay. I don't want to start over. Our kids are grown and gone.
How many
Okay,
I feel
kids you
sorry
got?
for AJ.
3.
Okay.
And they're 3.
And
Okay, grown and gone.
you 41?
No, I'm 46. I'll be
Okay.
47. It's been 6 years almost.
Well, you still got some good years in you, AJ.
Exactly. I still got some fertile years in me too.
You
Well,
better,
like I said, you better take precaution.
you better get them tools tied.
Hey, and AJ,
Or I could just not have sex, right?
or you can do what you do best. Do what's best for you. And then when you get ready to have sex, when they get that time, just get that spray bottle out and spray it down a little bit. You're all good.
And smack it up, flip it, rub it down.
All I'm saying, AJ, just too many women, they lessen they opportunities. Like you got fish to catch. You can go fishing, and sometimes you got to put more poles in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just don't keep your mind open for all the options, not just some options, because it's very competitive out there. Like I always tell my kids, put a bunch of tools in your bag. You don't never know when you're gonna need it. Just learn
No,
different
you
things.
tell your boys that. You're not telling your girls that.
I tell my daughter too, I want them to have a lot of tools in their bag too. Be skilled in a lot of things. Learn how to cook. Learn how to manage a home. Learn how to treat a man. Know what a man looking for. Put tools in your bag. That don't mean you got to go out there and be a hoe, but at least be able to run shit. Learn how to run a household. Learn how to pay bills. Buy a house. Purchase a car. Learn how to do things.
But she say, but what does that have? What advice do you give them on sex? Give your daughter on sex and relationships.
It's the same advice I give. Listen, don't put yourself out there and have all these different babies by all these different dudes. You got to be able to recognize what it is that you're looking for before you just start. Because if he's not husband material, why are you making a baby with him? Protect yourself, first of all, at all times. You got to be able to protect yourself. That's first and foremost. Like my baby girl, she got her first child with a dude that was just a hookup.
Yeah.
A hookup. And so, like when she first went to college, and she was pre-warned about all that, the conversation, I told her, I said, listen, if you gotta have sex, I said, I've been to college before. I know what young people do. Just protect yourself. I'm not worried about you getting pregnant, but I'm worried about you getting all this other shit that's out there. You can make
Yeah,
one man.
and that's what Yolanda said. She was like, damn a baby. She was like, it's AIDS out there. The diseases are really out there now. So sleeping around with a whole lot of people is really not the thing to do now. It may have was cool 15, 20 years ago. It is not the thing to do now.
That was my message to her. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, she slipped up, but now she get it because we still talk all the time. She like, damn, Dad, I get it. I wish I listened. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things. Sometimes people, they got to put their hand on the fire to know it's hot. And now she's done that. And, would she have learned from it? Time will tell.
Yeah.
But I stayed in her ear. I stayed talking about her getting an education. I stayed talking about giving herself value so a man will value her and she'll know she's valued before she's with him. She don't need him to feel valued. She'll know what she can do and what she's capable of before she get involved. And she'll be able to recognize whether dude is helping lift up or whether he's taking us down. Because you can get with niggas and they'll take you down.
Right. Now, AJ, let me ask you this. When raising your daughters, when it comes to sleeping around with multiple sex partners just for the sport of it, what do you preach on that?
First of all, we don't do nothing for no sport of it. But no, all in seriousness, right?
How old
I only have one daughter.
How old is your daughter?
My son's, she's my oldest child. She's almost 30.
She married?
And and so I had her at 17, turned 18. Graduated, had the baby, right? So bam. I was not only a teenage mom, but I lost my mom at 14. So only thing my grandmama taught me was just don't have sex. Everything I learned, I had to learn from the book or school or, off the street or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So because I grew up like that, not having no open dialect with nobody, not knowing, I was really open and upfront and honest with my daughter. And make sure I don't sugarcoat what it's really like and what it really is and how it really be. Now, I'm not a man hater. I don't think all men are bad, all men are dogs. I didn't teach her no bullshit like that. I didn't teach her nothing about her dad bad, even though he was an absent deadbeat, right? I still never talk bad about him,
Is he in her life?
He's not, to my knowledge.
Does she have kids?
She does not.
Okay.
She does not.
That's good. That's good.
That's good. That's good.
And 30?
Yeah, it's my boys making me grandma. My
That's
boys
cause
are
them women
making
out
me
there, man.
grandma.
Them women getting it up.
Hey, exactly, right? And so, like I said, I the same way that I've always been this version of Africa, even though I might have had a whole phase, right? I've always been solid in the way I raised or the example I set for my children.
Okay. Right. You made the mistakes and you taught them how not to make the mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. And so keep the door open, right? Keep the door. You can talk to me. Let's talk about sex. I'm not that type of mama that's gonna say throw them on birth control. But then if I know you fucking, then if you come to me and say you want to fuck it, then I need to put you on something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's that. when
I
when
mean, but
it's time
here's
for
the
that
thing.
daughter
Here's
to
the
come on
thing.
that damn birth
That's
control,
how I
men
ended
that's in
up
their lives don't want to
having
hear that.
a baby, you know. But you know what?
That's gonna be
I
tough.
thank God that I didn't have my baby till I had my baby in August. I graduated in May. I had my baby in August. I turned 18 in October. Okay. So look, my
But you
mama
didn't
died at
become a
14.
statistic. That's
My
normal.
mama died at 14. They was expecting me to have one by before to be pregnant before the end of the year was out.
No. You
My mama
escaped it.
died the same day Martin Luther King died, April 4th, right? And so they was expecting me to have a baby in me. That was the expectation.
No, you did good. You escaped the statistics because
Somewhat
you
just by the hair of my chin, right?
you didn't become a statistic. You wasn't a teen mom that was struggling in high school and having to get Pampers and all that and worry about a whole lot. You waited till you graduated to actually have your child. So you
But I was
escaped the
pregnant in 12th grade.
statistics. Right.
You know, but the thing is I didn't have the benefit of guidance. My grandmother took care of me after my mom passed, but she was a whole generation far removed from me. Her solution was stay me in the house on no phone in the house and do nothing.
That's right.
You know.
I agree.
And so
because she had to teach you that wasn't good. So yeah, you shouldn't get rewarded for that. So yeah, keeping you in the house, no phone, can't walk down the street. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Okay. That backfires on you when you shelter a child like that, and then when they become out and that's how they get that body count that y'all so disgracefully don't want y'all daughters to have. Don't do them like that, because when you let when you cage it down, you know, when they finally free, baby, they do their thing.
I mean, that's how Austin and I.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, we came up like that. When we got on our own, when we went to college, that's when we lost our mind between military and going to college, because our parents wasn't 100% strict, but they had rules.
Yeah, but they had
so if you did have somebody over, you had to sneak them over. It wasn't no we just free willy-nilly laying in the back room and all that crap with them. So when we had that freedom, I know I get what you're saying on that. You know, I get it, especially with the women, and so that's why a lot of they say the preacher's daughters and the preacher's sons be the worst. So don't get me wrong, I get what you're saying.
When you lack
guidance, you still have to let you know that what you did wasn't cool. We can't.
Or if you lack somebody
like these mothers today letting these girls pop these babies out. I'm talking about 12 years old. They have a baby. They have another one at 14. They have another one at 15. Maybe another one at 17. And these mothers watching all these kids in the kitchen while she cooking. And the daughter's still out there at the trail ride, still out there at the parties, popping their cat popping pussy on the head stand. And so my thing is,
if you lack
at what point do you say, hey, I'm not rocking no babies?
That can happen to you at 12.
I didn't
if
really
you got somebody
have kids
with
growing
you
up because
and they know
mom
you
and them made it known that they weren't rocking no babies.
That can happen to you at 12. That can happen to you at 12. If you lack somebody pouring into you like they need to be pouring into you, that can easily happen to you. Who are we to judge?
Yeah, I mean, mama and them wasn't rocking no babies back then. Y'all, you know, rewarding them when they having these kids, that ain't the thing to do.
What we supposed to do? Not give her, since she a teenage mama. What we not give a baby shower? That's a reward.
Yeah.
That's a reward. No, it's not. That's what we do when we welcome a baby into our village. We bring gifts and we eat. We bring gifts and we eat.
Well, that's what somebody should have been doing instead of sticking. But I still see that as a celebration, as a reward for you know, this
That's
is
not a
okay.
reward. That's preparation for what the God done already said done. That's
Okay,
preparation.
I do the preparation, but let them know that that's wrong.
Don't you think? Can't nobody beat you up more than you beat you up your own self.
Some of them, I mean, some people still see that as it's not that bad.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't put
cute.
themselves. Yeah, they think it's cute. They all right.
It's not cute. It's not cute. That's why I say, why not? So you saying it's not cute when your daughter, to throw your daughter who the teenage mama a baby shower, right? But you also saying it ain't cute for you to have no open dialect with your daughter for her to come tell you, Mama, I think I want to fuck, and you give her some birth control. So which one is it?
Okay, let me tell you which one is it. Birth control, and be very selective, and make that bastard wear condoms where you won't
What
create no
I'm
baby.
saying to you is you being your child friend then. When they can come to you and say, hey, I think I'm ready.
I'm okay with being my child friend.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Because I want them to feel that they can come to me, but they still see me. They still see me as their parent and respect me as their parent.
Somebody they can trust. Because
Exactly.
the child gotta be trust you.
Exactly. And if a child come to you and say, hey, I'm ready to have sex, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
We gonna have that talk. She gonna
have intelligent conversation.
Conversation, and she gonna know that just because you having sex, don't bring no babies here
and be realistic.
Yeah, don't bring no babies here. You can fuck the whole city if you want to, but don't bring no babies in this house.
But let me tell you, at that time, it's a very delicate situation. So if they coming to you, that means they looking for advice. That's first and foremost. So the one thing, you can't make them feel like they ain't shit because they came to you with that question. That's the first thing. So you got to you got to keep that trust alive. Because if you ruin it, that means if you go off on them, what the fuck you doing, bitch? You got that. If you go off on them,
yeah, that's not.
They're not gonna come to you with nothing ever again. So first of all, you got to be. That's when you got to be the father you supposed to be at that time for that situation. Not that you ain't a father all along, but what I'm saying, you got to open your mind and try to reach this child in a way that's necessary because of what her body's going through and what her mind is going through. You gotta make sure you're very selective in what you say.
Right, choice words, right.
You give her.
And if my child came to me and said that she was having sex or wanted to have sex, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have a conversation.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to try to persuade her to wait and give her reasons why I feel like she should wait. Right. But if she chooses to do this, then I'm gonna let her know, hey, just because you're thinking about this, we are gonna go ahead and start you on birth control. I'm going to tell you, let you see the issues with having sex early. The responsibilities, the responsibilities that come with having sex early. And her mom works for CPS, right?
So what do you say to people who say, "Oh, well, you gonna get your child birth control? You might well be telling them going on out here and have sex then."
No, I'm not gonna be naive and say that my child is not gonna slip out and do it, whether I agree with it or not. So I prefer her to be safe than sorry. And I'm going to let her know, yes, I will be disappointed that you got pregnant if that happened, but but you are not a disappointment to me.
Yeah. I mean,
some people don't know how to articulate that also.
Well, that's the first thing we agreed to. That's why I said the conversation.
Yeah, we gonna talk.
Educated conversation, and you got to be in that moment. We all been there. We all been a teenager. They ain't never went through any of this.
Right. And so that's why I say we have the conversation and you let them know that having a child is a big responsibility. That child is going to be with you for the rest of your life. You
So
wanting to be a cheerleader, you wanting to go to college, be a lawyer. If something happens and no one is there, you're still stuck with that child. The father is not guaranteed. The parents are not guaranteed because people dropping left and right today. Are you ready for that responsibility if you get this child? So like Austin say, we're going to discuss the consequences of
Right.
having a child, bringing a child in this world. It's not fun and games.
And I see my daughter's posts. I'll be paying attention to her posts on Facebook. And she'll say little things. Man, I wish I could go to the mall with my friends by myself. No, you got baby with.
So our
You know,
parents taught us they wasn't rocking no
Now she
babies.
sees those things, see?
So we did not have kids like that growing up.
And so my thing is, I'm going to let her know I'm going to be there for her. I'm going to help you take care of your child, but I'm not going to take care of your child.
Take care. Right. And that help is going to be very limited. You come to me last minute, when it's no more results. Go to the father, his folks. I'm the last person you need to come to.
I mean, I'm not even saying in that sense.
No, I'm saying that because I'm saying even though I'm probably gonna be the first one to do something, but I just can't give her that safety net, thinking that she can just keep creating these babies and I'm gonna be there. You know, we gonna be there. You know.
Yep, I understand that.
Well, you want her to feel the level of the choice she made. That's the only piece. That's the only way a person learns. Sometimes is they feel the real. That's why a lot of people keep repeating the same shit. They're not allowed to feel the consequences of the choice they made. I truly believe in you did that. That's the consequence behind your choice.
Yeah.
I'm going to be your father. I'm going to be there for you. But you're going to pay for your own.
Yeah. You want to go to the prom? I'm sorry. You got to get a babysitter.
Go.
Hey, that dress that you wanted, I got to buy some Pampers.
Yeah.
That's me.
See, I
you thought you thought you wanted to take a limo? Oh no. You better find a bicycle.
Right.
So if she get a babysitter, you buy her a dress for prom?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not buying anything. I'm not
buy your
and then what I would do probably
you wouldn't buy your daughter her dress for prom.
I give her half of it. And that dude gonna have to give her the other half. Whoever she got pregnant by got to give her the other half. Once she had that baby,
that's your daughter.
And she went out there and that dude helped make that baby. Now I'm helping take care of this baby because he didn't buy Pampers. When that Enfamil that the government gave ran out, I had to buy. So he didn't give nothing. So all the extras that you need, go to that guy that put that baby in you. Because my money going to that child.
What a thing together no more.
Hey, that's her fault. She should have been more selective of who she laid down with.
So let me tell you this. So this is a great point. So my daughter called me one day. She said, Daddy, do you think I should let old boy see the baby? Because he go to, like when I had to go to the doctor stuff, or none of the prenatal care, all of that stuff, or none of the classes and all of that. Do you think I should let him see the baby when the baby come? I said, yeah, that's his child. I said, but see, you can't be mad at him because he ain't involved, because it wasn't a requirement. You got pregnant on a hookup, but now you expecting fatherly duties. You expecting committed things when never none of that was discussed before you got pregnant. Now all of a sudden you got these expectations. You assuming that he was gonna line up because you say I'm pregnant. Well, it don't go like that. So that's the
so don't you think she know that?
Well,
and don't you think she know the mistake she made?
Well, she asked me the question. Do I think he should see his child? Yes, he should see his child. But
you got some daddies that tell them, no, baby, it's all on you.
No. He should see his child. It's his child. He should also be responsible for
exactly. But what
You know,
if he's not? Back to Black and Austin. What if he's not?
That's up.
she,
That's
she,
that. Once
she
I
gonna
start
always
helping the
be his mother.
child,
She
you
gonna
get
always
half.
be his mother, so it's still her responsibility.
Yeah.
Now,
So what I'm looking at is you chose to lay down, have sex, and bring this child into the world, allow this child to come into the world. So now you're gonna have to learn what sacrifice is about.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not buying your prom dress. This is a sacrifice because I have to buy Pampers, I have to buy formula, I have to buy baby clothes. So
And you
this
probably got to pay for medical because the child ain't got no health care.
right. So
And if she's not working, she ain't got no health care
yeah. So I'm sorry.
because she probably
Yeah.
still on daddy's insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's tough. We can't. You can't. And I understand you speaking from a woman's perspective, AJ, that had a child at a younger age. So you see it totally different.
Yeah, because nobody was there for AJ. AJ had
Right.
to struggle
So
through
she's
it.
gonna see
I
it
didn't go to
different.
prom.
But I'm
I
gonna
didn't
be
go to
tough on
prom. Like I
mine.
said, I was pregnant during prom. You know, I was pregnant and I had a 12 o'clock curfew. I was working. I had my own car and I still had a 12 o'clock curfew. I came home at 12:30. They took my keys. Okay. So I didn't go to prom. I chose not to go to prom though. It was a
So
choice that I made.
you said Austin should buy his daughter a dress.
If she's not working.
And he's providing for the baby too?
You don't get prom again.
Well, you should have thought about that when you was getting dick again.
Right. All right. She fucked up. You know, some of us fuck up and get caught up. Some of us fuck and never get caught up. Some of us fucking go to the abortion clinic. Some of us fucking get a miscarriage. But some of us fucking and it go all the way through. You know, some of us fucking get caught up. Some of us can fuck and never get caught up.
I understand that.
So
And
we
But
try,
I mean, but you know, come on
we
now.
try to understand why that shouldn't have the consequences behind it.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you,
you smoke weed on the job. You smoke weed on the job, and you get fired. You fucked up, and you got to live with those consequences.
the thing is, I'm telling you not to do this, and I'm giving you the reasons why. And if you still choose to do it, you are going to have to face whatever those consequences are.
Yeah, and most of the time, you have to face them alone. A lot
Just
of times.
thank God that when y'all start fucking at 13 or 14, y'all didn't get nobody pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did coming out of high school. And what did I do?
But you was a senior though. That don't count.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I was a senior going, and then
You started
get ready
at what age?
to go to Grambling. Well, I didn't start that early, so I think I was maybe like 16 or 17 when I started. So
The thing that we saying, AJ, what made us a lot of the men that we are today, because we had to deal with real consequences for the choices we made. It was those consequences that taught us how to lead. Because if we just went through life, you know, a lot of men that went through life with no consequences, I don't give a damn what the age. A lot of them locked up in jail now because they never paid for them consequences. They kept getting the pass, keep getting the pass, keep doing the same shit because you're getting the pass.
I get that.
Getting the pass.
I get that.
Then I don't understand.
All I noticed is I seen AJ, the women, and I still see today the mothers that's accepting these grandkids. That girl still popping them babies out. It's like it's no consequence because she's still able to go to the club. She's still able to hang with her friends. She's still able to spend the night over Jimmy Joe house. She's still able to do everything she want to do, and the baby stuck at grandmama's house or her mama's house.
Drop them off at grandmama's house and get mad if grandmama don't feel like keeping them.
Exactly, and I'm seeing that today.
So look at
then
this.
You got some mamas that tell their daughters, "Oh well, you need it since you know I haven't. You better go on get them now, all out the way."
That's crazy, but there are So there are people out there that are on drugs that just have baby after baby after baby after baby, and allow the state to take care of those kids or let them go to foster care because they haven't had to deal with the consequences of having these kids that are addicted to drugs. So if you're not having to face consequences, then you're just gonna keep doing exactly what you've been doing.
Yeah.
And AJ, you know better. We was taught consequences at an early age. You touch that fire, it's hot. It's gonna burn you. Now, at some point, that shit got to kick in.
But AJ more like once it's here, it is what it is. Let's embrace, let's celebrate, and just keep it going.
Yeah.
Instead of that was fucked up.
One of my cousins, her boy they just had a baby. They celebrated that shit on I think he's 16. He just had a baby. And with the young lady, and they, down in Houston, they celebrate that shit like that's big news. I look at that
like his life fucked up.
Like
he done fucked his life up.
Like it's going to be a failed opportunity for that baby.
Yeah, and back in the day, people used to
look down.
I didn't want to use that phrase, look down. But it wasn't glorified to have a kid at a young age,
And in our town, AJ, they used to send the pregnant women to a different school, so everybody knew you was in a separate school. Everybody knew you pregnant. We called it the pregnant school, and you were kind of shamed. It was kind of like a scarlet letter, and so we didn't have many pregnancies. But the ones who did were scarred, and that taught those other girls not to do it. But what happened was when they started letting them go to regular school, them other girls started seeing them walking around with that swole belly looking like they swallowed a watermelon, and everybody was, oh, that's cute, that's cute. And then it started spreading like wildfire. All of them started getting pregnant.
Yeah.
But had they kept it separate, I think it would have been less pregnancies, because they was like, I don't want to be over there at that school. And that was another preventive measure.
So I'm not gonna glorify that. I'm not gonna glorify it. I'm not gonna praise it. I'm not gonna shame my child.
But listen, AJ, the daughter and the grandchild gonna get a lot of love. However, if you made that choice as far as you being the parent and being responsible, that shit ain't gonna change because you made that mistake. You're gonna pay for the choice you made. That's the only way you learn is you have to deal with them consequences of the choice you made.
Right.
Until you learn, I don't care what it is in life. Until you learn how to deal. For instance, some people know they own a 5-point or 10-point work system, right? You get 10 points, you get fired. Okay. They know how long it takes
for that point to drop off.
Before 1 point drop off or whatever. Some people play it all the way up to 8 or 9 points. And then what happened, some shit happened and they can't prevent from missing. And now they done lost their job, which exasperated the problems they already had. When a lot of them days they missed was bullshit days where they could have took their ass to work. And now it's everybody else's problem. Oh, this job, they did so and so and so and so. What about all them days you missed when you could have worked?
So it's the consequences that you have to deal with. But I'm proud of your daughter for making it to 30 without a child today.
Yes, that's commendable.
Man, that is so freaking rare. Till you need to kiss that girl on the forehead every time you see her.
Yeah, and I mean, my wife made it to 40 without having a child.
That's amazing.
That's really
so it's there's some out there that can make it. She went through all her years, went through her college years, went through whatever period.
And we're not saying that a baby is a mistake. What we're saying is
it's an error. If
you have a child and you're not married and you're in a situation where you can't sustain the lifestyle for the child,
Right.
and you're not getting any assistance. Then
That's where I justify abortion. And these women that made it to these ages with no kids and they didn't have 3 and 4 abortions. I know women like that too. Get on social media and they be bragging, and then I know they didn't have 3 or 4 abortions. And you know,
But they
so
gotta be careful because they kind of changed these laws where they arrest your ass for killing a baby.
if you can't afford the child, I was for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they changing the rules for abortion these days. They
because
make
bringing kids in the world and you can't afford them, that's
There's only
a problem.
There's only a few states where abortion is legal.
Yeah, and you know, again, I believe in women's rights and
I
them
do
having,
too.
you know, them having to make the choice. And I wish they wouldn't have changed that Roe versus Wade or reversed it back.
Right. We talked about that one time too.
Yeah, but you know, because again, I see it with my wife's job. There are so many people out here having kids,
Can't
and
afford
you
them.
know, and they're talking about, well, you know, there are so many people that can't have kids and want kids. Well, why is the foster system so flooded? Why aren't there people adopting these kids?
Because
Why?
the application is so stringent that everybody just can't get.
No, it's really not. It's really not.
Well, according to some of the people I know that, like
Yeah.
ex-sister-in-law tried to get a child, man, and I know she has the means to take care of a child, and she said, man, it's very, very difficult. It's not as simple. Now I do have a lady friend in Atlanta that she adopted 4 children.
And we know Austin and I know somebody that got a couple of people that got all they have is foster children.
Right.
You know, they getting them checks. They getting them checks, boy. They got 4, 5 foster kids. But
yeah. So, you know, it's a bad situation all the way around. And all these people out here that you know, pro-life or whatever, and they don't think about the kids that are stuck in the system, or the kids that come here addicted to drugs, or the kids that are unwanted that go home with the parents and end up getting killed, you know, by the parents.
As the baby have rights, and that's all they're saying, that the baby. And so the biggest issue is when is it a baby?
too old. Right.
What is
As
it a
I
baby?
go.
And I can understand that, but if you catch it early enough and it's still a bundle of cells, then well, anyway, that's a totally different.
Totally different topic.
But that's the argue point. That's what they at the point of conception. That's when they believe it's a baby. So you got one side arguing that point, and that's why Roe versus Wade got changed for the most part, and also him having all of the Supreme Court in his pocket. So, you know, that's the whole issue. However, though, but people have to pay consequences to their actions, because if you don't do that, you'll just continue to do the same shit over and over and over and over again.
Right. And if them kids, if them boys bringing them kids, dropping them babies off over there, and you keeping them and looking in the refrigerator, your food getting low and low, and you just went grocery shopping, and you continuing to let them keep having these kids and dropping them off over there.
Babysitting, calling it love. You ain't
that ain't cool. You need to be like, hey, don't you make no more.
Favor. And you probably a good grandmother. You probably keeping them kids alive.
I don't
Yeah,
keep
she
them.
keep them. They spend the night. They over there now.
I wish it's summer. I would keep them the whole summer. But no, I actually went through a period where I didn't see my granddaughter for 2 years. So, she comes around when her mother lets her now. So
who living with you now? Okay?
My grandbabies, they come on the weekend, but not every weekend.
So you getting them boys? You want to see them like that, or they just getting they They trying to do the clubs on the weekend.
No, I want to see them like that.
Okay.
And that's fine. So you support your grandkids and your kids how you feel necessary. But you know,
I mean,
just
they
saying
here
on
now.
my end. Yeah, on my end,
They here.
there's certain things I'm
Cause
just
you
not
know
gonna
they will throw them kids off on you.
No,
Hey,
I'm not gonna. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say I would allow that, but I will give them a break. Yeah.
Damn AJ, Karen. I like AJ heart. That you're a beautiful person. I like your heart. I hear it in your voice.
I'm a egg cracking. Come on in the kitchen. Let's bake some cookies, grandma.
I mean, because like you say, you look at it as they're here now, you know, and that's what made me put my big boy boots on and strap up when I had my first, because I'm like, actually when I have all, you know, when I have the kids, I'm like, they didn't ask to be here.
That's all love.
Yeah, they didn't ask to be here. So it is what it is. But on the same note, once those grands start coming, you got to take care of them grands. Because, you know, I'm going to take care of mine. And I always took care of mine. So you're going to have to get out there and take care of yours. My folks ain't never kept mine.
Right.
Never.
You know, I realized one thing. So I just got back from Lubbock, Texas, and then we went down to Victoria, Texas. It was 5 hours or 4 hours to Lubbock. Then it was from Lubbock to Victoria. I went to see my uncle. That was 8 hours over there. We just got back today, so it went but 5 hours back home from Victoria. But I realized, boy, I saw like I got some grands, and my daughter has two young kids, and my woman was like, "When we gonna get the babies to come down?" So we was down there with her nephew. He's in Hawaii in the military, and his wife is back in the States. She's in Lubbock. So we went down there to see her two little boys. Gavin's two little boys, her nephew's two little boys. And they like, one is like 1 going on 2, and the other one's like, I guess he's like almost 4. He's 3 going on 4. I realized, boy, how much like being around little kids like that, boy. Oh, man.
Ain't nothing you miss.
Bro, shit. Bro, they be doing too much, boy. Them dudes was all over that damn hotel room, bro. They came to the hotel. I like, boy, I had to go in their other room, shut the door, boy. Them little bastards everywhere, boy.
And they worse now. So no, I can't. I'm like my folks. They didn't rock no babies, and I ain't rocking none either. They ain't mine.
Hey, D. I looked at her. I could see it in her face. I like, boy, she dealing with it, boy. She dealing with it. She bouncing off the wall, man. And hey, but I told her, man, you know, she went over there knowing he was in the military. He dropped 2 babies in her and sent her ass home. Now they don't.
Yeah, that sound, AJ. All right, y'all, let's close it out. Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let's get ready to close this out. Yeah, that sound, AJ. He dropped them babies in and got the hell on.
She commit suicide or killed herself and them babies. Y'all, everybody, I ain't no thing no you because you never gave her no fucking break though.
Then he better make sure he got insurance on it then.
Yeah. Okay. I'm through with that. Good night.
Hey, AJ, I talked to him last night, man. Told him them boys, man. The most important thing in your world, man. You got. I asked him, what do you want for them? And you need to get back here, man, and make sure that they have your influence. Because if they don't, whatever the streets provide for them, that's what they're gonna have.
Yeah. But y'all rubbed her the wrong way tonight. She did not like them answers. Y'all take double team though, AJ, tonight. I love you, AJ. But as far as the men that's out there dating, that's saying that they can't find women that's wife material. I don't know. Another guy on here that I be talking with, he blames social media. Another person said they didn't grow up with the mother teaching them how to be a wife. You know, Big Mama taught her daughters how to be wives. So we're not doing that today. I feel like with the women being single and having all the freedom, sexual freedom, they done started acting like guys. They fucking with no feelings. They then got their sense of independence. Marriage is just not on a woman's mind anymore. Majority of women, they want to do what they do when they do without the headache. One of them put on there that she want to be single because she just want to stay young or something. So she gonna do whatever she wants instead of being in a relationship, a marriage. She said she painted marriage out to be something that's gonna make her old. I think this is the post. She said, I don't need a man, but I don't need a man and I don't need a ring to be needed. So I'm happy single. I don't want to get married nor be a wife, and that's her choice. You know. So that's the mentality of a lot of women now. They feel like if they get with one man, he's gonna lock them down. They're gonna feel old, and they want their freedom.
I think they've seen a lot of misery. They've seen all of these married women complain. They done seen their mamas, their grandmamas go through all of this pain and misery. A lot of people, very few people have seen healthy relationships. So there's like, I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, and that's what they're seeing. Everybody want pleasure, sex, and money. They want the good stuff. They want they don't even want to learn enough skills to even be considered what you would call wifey material. They very one-dimensional. It's looks, how good they looking because they stay in the mirror. They stay posting on social media. And it's what you can do for me, what you got, and how good you can fuck me. And it's real basic. And so we don't see qualities that we used to. We want somebody who has some substance, somebody that at least reads, goddammit, can hold a conversation with you, let alone having other skills. That's a plus. But a lot of people are just basic now, man, and that has a lot to do with social media. Not seeing a lot of quality relationships, man. It's a lot of misery out there, man. There's a lot of bad relationships out there.
My thing is every woman is wifey material because every man is looking for something different. So you have to identify what's wifey material to you and find the one that you connect with. So some people want the woman that had, X number of men. Some people want the woman that prefers to go out to eat rather than cook.
No, let's break down what the definition of wifey material. Contemporary term used to describe a woman who possesses qualities considered desirable in a long partner or spouse. It extends beyond initial attraction, encompasses traits that contribute, to fulfilling the enduring partnership while, and I got a thing on my screen, a specific qualities can vary depending on the individual. Okay. The qualities vary. So
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So everyone is wifey material depending on what that individual person desires in a wife.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, but
yeah,
opinion, that's fine.
not like that.
Who possesses qualities considered desirable in a long-term partner or spouse. So everyone doesn't desire the same thing. So the wifey material is based on what you deem as quality.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying in a sense.
To a degree, yeah.
I understand that because every man, you know, what one man garbage could be another man's gold, you know.
Right.
So I understand that. But at the same time, that it might be more like she might be wife material, but just not for you. So I can
understand that and so wife material. Okay, that's kind of like saying qualified for a job. So let's just say if we say wife material and we go off that definition, not coming home and tending to wifely duties is not really considered wife material. Wifely duties may be being there emotionally, being at the house. She stay at her friends 24/7. She goes out all the time. She talks to him any kind of way. He, you know, somewhere down the line that definition has to go a little bit deeper for wife material. We're not saying a woman, a girlfriend. When you wife a person, you know what you're getting. So yeah, as a whole, that relationship, and that definition that holds true.
Because she could be wifey material, but there's a compatibility issue.
Yeah. So that kind of eliminates that.
Right. So even if you wifey material, you everything is measured in timing, and we talked about that. I'm sure that the person that I have today was the person she was for somebody else too, but the timing was wrong. So she's still probably that same giving, caring person. They just didn't see those qualities.
Okay, let's talk about the ones that's in the street. Like they say, every woman is not wife material. And then it was videos saying that too. Everyone is not wife material. Even though it depends on what you want, but you find me a man that want a woman that's out there in the streets.
Criteria. Based on their criteria. Everyone has their own criteria.
Okay. So just like going to the league, everybody don't make the league, but they're good athletes.
They're good players.
But only a select few go to the league. If every woman was wife material,
or they go to a different team and become a better player, or better fit. That's why you see that like it is, because even the person I was with before, she's remarried, and I guess the situation she's in fits her for the person she is now. When we together, she was the person that she is today. So all of that matters.
So yeah, I guess it's like what Austin's saying. What we consider, or what I consider is wife material, mine ain't finna be running the streets 24/7 with her friends. Mine ain't finna be talking to me crazy, staying out all night, spending the night over their friend's house because they too drunk to drive home. To me, that's not wife material, because you're not contributing to.
She's not wife material. She's not relationship material. So it has to start
there. You go. So if they're not relationship material, that's not wife material. So that means at that point, all women aren't
in hand.
So does that mean all women aren't wife material?
Some people are just lifetime, momentary relationship. They could.
Yeah. So do you agree that every woman is wife material or not?
They had the potential to be.
Because it's women that comes on here all the time and say, I'm not ready, I'm not wife material, I'm not ready to be no wife. Because she knows that there's certain standards that's held for a wife.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that kind of eliminates that every woman is wife material, because women don't even believe that. You know, it's just like Austin, just like us saying husband material. Every man not husband material. Because there were times when we wasn't thinking about a woman and we was just doing what we do. So we were not husband material at that time.
Yeah,
so the statement, so for somebody to make a statement that say all men are husband material, that's a slap in the face for the men that are mature enough to be husbands. That's just to me. So just like all women aren't queens. Just because you're a black woman, that don't make you a queen. You slap in the face of the ones that really take care of themselves.
Nope. Everyone has a vision of what they are and who they are. So if you identify yourself as not marriage material at that time, then that's you. But someone else may deem you marriage material. So
so that's still so at the same note with what you're saying. One person say yay, other one say nay. So it's not a good or it's not a right or wrong question, because if I feel like I'm not husband material, but she think I am, that's her thinking I am, that's me thinking I'm not. So that's positive, negative, that's zero all day.
Yeah, so it still doesn't mean that you're not. It still doesn't mean that you're not husband material or wife material. I mean, we could go at this all night.
No, we can't, because at the end of the day, if you know you're not ready for kids, you just not ready for kids. Whether you have them, whatever, I'm not here to take care of no kids. If you know you're not ready to be faithful to a woman, you just not ready to be faithful. I'm not a faithful man right now. I'm not the man that I know you want. And so I'm not him. You may think that, but I'm not him. So right now I'm not husband material. Right. Before I got married, I wasn't husband material because I got trust issues. I like different women. I'm gonna be in the clubs. I am not what's considered husband material, because you're gonna want somebody focused on you and only you. So if we say every woman is wife material. So the woman that wants this guy, that guy, and she knows she don't want a serious relationship. She's wife material.
Some people like that. Some people don't mind that woman.
Okay, but if she's trying to be with multiple people, that doesn't make her a wife unless she's going to get into the polygamy. We're talking about monogamous relationships. A woman that wants to screw or a man that wants to screw outside of his marriage or outside of his relationship is not husband or wife material. But you're right. I'm wrong.
I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to.
I see what you're saying, but the difference is when you break it down, I'm like, I can see where you're coming from, and I agree to disagree. It's no right or wrong answer in this if we're looking at it from that definition. Because if I know I don't want to be committed to nobody, and I want to be free to screw anybody I want, my neighbor, my coworker. I'm not husband material, whether she likes that or not. I am not what's considered husband material. When I say I do, okay, now tell me, I got a better one. She's not nobody that I'm gonna say I do, and I want to be taken care of and involved with for the rest of my life. So I'm not husband. I was not husband material. I'm speaking from a personal.
You're not ready to be married yet.
And to be married, you're called what? A spouse, and a spouse is also what?
But that's
a husband.
That doesn't mean that you're not marriage material. You're not wifey material. You're not ready to be married yet. You still have you still possess the qualities that a person may be looking for, but you're not ready to settle down to apply those qualities in a monogamous relationship.
But at the same time, though, Austin, listen, there's a standard in everything we do. Everybody's not NBA material. That's why they have
why they get divorced. If they wife material, why they get divorced?
That's why they have a selection process.
If they're not wife material, why they get married again?
That's why they have a selection process.
So it's no right or wrong answer.
Everybody's not NBA material. They might be good ball players, But that don't
Why
make
did she get married again? Maybe she changed her ways. Maybe this guy didn't have the same standards. So I say the women that's ready to be wives are wife materials, and the ones that just say they not. I'm a slut. I'm a dog. I'm a mutt. I don't want marriage. So I'm not husband material because I'm gonna fuck over you. So I'm not husband material. A husband wants you. He's gonna praise you. He's gonna dedicate everything to you. I'm not him. So no, I'm not husband material. Some women admit that they're sluts. It's a place for everybody. We have places for whores, sluts, faithful women.
So is that you know what? You know, y'all, you absolutely right. You're right. You're correct.
No, you're right.
No, you're right. You're right, buddy.
No, it's no right or, but on the realistically speaking, there's no right or wrong, and we can debate all day, especially when you're playing devil's advocate. We can go back and forth. But at the end of the day, there's a certain stature you have to carry yourself to be a husband. You know that, even though we go on, you know, I love the devil's advocate, but you know that you wasn't that you wasn't prepared to be the husband that you are today back in your other relationships or before you decided to get married before you decided to seriously commit. You knew what it was going to take to be in this relationship that you're in right now that you couldn't do in the other. So if every man on the planet is husband material, the ones that's not working, the ones that plays the video games, the ones that don't lift a finger to help the woman that he's with, and we're considering him husband material because he's born with balls, I just think it's different. That's a slap in the face for the real husbands out there. That's just to me.
Doing the work, that's doing what they're supposed to. Because it takes a team if you're gonna be married. One person can run their house by themselves, but if you're gonna be married and you're gonna have a family, it takes a team to run that. It takes the efforts of both people. You can't have one person in and the other person just doing whatever the hell they want to do.
Unless that's what they choose to have.
But it's been real. It's been real. So in Austin's eyesight, every woman on the planet is wife material to someone. Whether you're hoeing, whether you don't want to be in a relationship, whether you
have to want to be in a relationship, but that still doesn't mean that you're not wife for me. You know what? You're absolutely right. You're right. I'm wrong.
I don't even know matter of being right or wrong. It's just that
that dude there. That's my nigga though. I don't care. That nigga, hey, I don't care what he say. And he know how we work. And he know what women are. But every woman on God's green earth is wife material. Even though the women say they not now.
Yeah.
You know, every woman.
Ladies, let me let you in on something. When a man says that a woman is wife material, he's not just talking about cooking or cleaning. It's much deeper than that. Let me unpack it for you. First thing is that men admire a woman who has emotional stability.
Yeah, you don't want no crazy bitch.
And y'all done ran my buddy off, AJ.
Yeah, man. But man, I got to get my ass off. I ain't had no sleep, y'all, in 2 days.
Yeah, I got to get on off myself.
Hey, them hotel rooms gonna be, them beds
gonna be. Put it down. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, it's certain standards that these guys are looking for in women, and that like loyalty. A lot of women not willing to submit. Those are qualities that they're looking for when they say wife material. Respect. The qualities, just like husband material. You know that you got to be there with that family, and it's us, not I. It's we, not my. those things, because I had to learn all of that to even consider myself to even be husband material. Because
Right.
I was not. Because I was like, I was doing this before I met you. It is what it is. It's my, and I wasn't material. That's why you go through marriage counseling to make sure that you guys are
But you
ready
signed
for
up.
marriage.
You understand?
No,
what
you go to marriage counseling to identify if you're aligned to be married.
Right, marriage material.
No, not marriage material, because you can still be marriage material, but you may not be that
For that
person for
person.
that person.
Right. Right. But a person, you're not gonna make me believe that a woman who say I don't need a man and out there screwing everybody and screwing his friends and all that is ready to be a wife. A wife and a husband is something you have to be ready to be.
As soon as you turn your back, you can't even go get a bag of ice. And
You
oh
got
boy,
somebody coming through the window. She not wife material.
as soon as she turn her back, you turn your back. You can't go town. You can't go out of town to a funeral.
Somebody sleeping in your bed.
Somebody tearing that ass up.
She not wife material.
And you
But
can
she is for somebody. It may be a guy out there that wants his wife screwing the guy as soon as he leave and go to work.
Yeah.
Hey, people screw.
He may like that.
People pay people. Hey,
What about
did
what
you
about
say-
the ones that don't
hey,
know?
Wait. Hey, Kirk, didn't you say at a point you was going up a folks' house and they was watching you screw their old woman?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but see the difference in that is that's known. We talking about the ones that's sneaking.
It still doesn't mean that
It's
they're
not the same. It's not the same.
I didn't say it was the same. It still doesn't mean that they're not wife material, but they're not doing wife things.
Okay, so
they're not being true to their marriage.
But they wife and material. Then they
still possess some qualities
they not
of a
they
wife.
not-
They
not
still possess some qualities of a wife, but they're not doing things.
You know what? You sound like the woman that says body counts don't matter because she just screwed over 1,000 guys. And those be the only ones that holler. You know how they say a hit dog holler? Whenever we bring up body count, the main ones that get mad are the ones that have slept with the football team. So
I slept with the cheerleading squad and the pep squad, but that
you
ain't
get what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's why I say a hit dog holler. So but yeah. All right, ladies, all y'all marriage material to Austin. For as far as Austin concerned,
No,
me,
because
you have to.
They can't because everybody can't be. They don't possess everybody don't possess the qualities that I require in a wife. So
Okay.
But every woman you done met is wifey material, though.
they were, but they didn't possess the quality to be my wife.
That's not for you, huh?
Exactly.
But on the record, no, everybody not wife material, our husband material.
But that's
you have to. That's something you have to want to be, and that comes with sacrifices, self-discipline, and all that. That's why so many women say, "I'm not ready for that now. I'm not ready." Because if they were wife material, they would be ready, and that's really a self-choice that you have to make. I can't say that the lady across the street is wife material. She would have to feel like she's wife material for whatever standards she holds or she feels that would make her a good wife. Because I hear, like AJ said, I know I'm gonna be a good woman. I know I'm gonna be a good wife because she knows what she possesses. You get what I'm saying? Then I've known women who say, I wouldn't mind marriage, but not right now. I got too much going on. I know I'm gonna have to be committed. I know I'm gonna have to be dedicated.
They're not,
you know,
you can have a woman that says I know a woman or a man that says I'm gonna be a good hoe, but they still don't know how to hoe well.
Right, but that's something that they have to feel. You know what I'm saying? It's something they have to want to do. So everybody is not husband and wife material. That's why a lot of weddings, when they get down that aisle and she realized that she still got a little hoeing she want to do, or he realized he's still in love with Sharon, and they leave everybody at that person get left at the altar. Because he knew or she knew. Because when you become a wife or a husband, there's a certain kind of commitment and dedication that you have to give to that person.
And so they have to be relationship material before they could be anything.
They can be wifey material.
That's first and
Right.
foremost. So a lot of people ain't even relationship material. And they and then when they don't even know how to know, a lot of them don't even know what they want. And so
That's what's going on today.
yeah, they don't even
A
know
lot
what-
of them just don't know what they want because there's so much out there and such access. That's why it's hell. You see, you went back and grabbed yours.
Yeah.
Y'all timing was right. Out there today with this new stuff that's going on, I wouldn't want to be out there.
Yep.
I would probably go back to something that knew me too. I don't think I want to tackle this new shit that
And my
everybody
mama
talking
said
about.
all the time, man, it's hard to even trust what a woman wants these days because you could think you doing it right and giving the right thing and doing
Yeah. And then
what
she'll be plotting on somebody coming in, robbing you after y'all done dated 3-4 months. Damn that. It's just tough now. So we blessed. All of us three.
Yeah.
Man, we blessed because I hear the trauma that these guys going through out here, man, trying to date over 40 years old.
Now
It
that
is
is
hell.
that is something that you're right about on that one. I definitely agree with that.
You saw
We
what
are
I
blessed.
went through, B. Shit, you saw how hard I worked for my first marriage, man. That's some bullshit.
Shit. Yeah. And then when that failed, then we get out here now, and the quality of women are getting worse and worse.
Yep.
Quality of men ain't worth a damn because men want women to take care of them now.
And
You know,
that,
and the
just
women doing it.
a dude that said just be authentic, man. That shit is real, man.
What he
You
said, just
be authentic. You got people be faking the funk, man. They know they fake.
yeah, and that's what I meant to say. Yeah, that's what the girls were saying earlier today. They were saying it's hard to find men to just be real. They'll lie like they want relationships to get sex and then leave them.
Yeah, they faking the funk. They just faking it.
Just be straight up, because this culture accepts sex partners. It's a given thing. That's my sneaky link. That's my that's my friend with benefits. It's okay now to have sex partners. It's okay.
Yeah. Just say that's what, and they'll tell you. Just say that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, they're attracted to the person by that time.
Well,
just say that's what we're doing.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna have to get off of here. Women, I was trying to give y'all some hope, but on the real, a lot of y'all aren't marriage material. Y'all don't possess the qualities of marriage. You don't possess the mindset of marriage to be a wife. So,
you badgering women.
No, I'm not badgering. And some of the men, and this go for men too. It's the same thing for men too. A lot of men are not capable of being good husbands because they're still stuck in their selfish ways. They're still stuck in their selfish ways and don't know how to be a partner to a good woman. And that's why we have so many good women that are going to waste. And and same thing on the men's side. We have good men that are going to waste because women don't know how to curtail their behavior because they want to be the man. So until we get out of those mindsets, then it's always
gonna forever be messed up.
It's gonna forever be messed up.
No wives. Everybody just doing poly. Think they want poly.
Right. You're gonna be forever looking for someone because you're not ready to be the person that you need to be. And on that note, I'm out of here.
All right, man. Appreciate you. You stayed longer than you ever did, man. Love you. Appreciate you. Holler at me later.
Hold it down, bro.
Y'all too.
All right.
I'll talk to you this Friday, man. I ain't got nothing on my schedule.
Yeah, you said that last Friday. I ain't hear from you.
Yeah, I ain't hear from you either.
Yes, you did. You didn't hit me up. You ain't hit me back.
All right, Black. Peace out, man.
All right, holla, holla. We out. Peace.
What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. You know, I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, you know, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You know, you start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So, you know, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do this.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, you know, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
But see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. You know, at one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, you know, I know, you know, I mean, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband and stuff like that.
Here's the number one sign that a woman's wife